Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Is my mic working? I didn't check ahead of time. It looks like it is. It looks like it is. Let's try that again. Let's try it again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Captain Coder here on this BEA beautiful Thursday morning. You guys know what that means. It's Thursday. That means it's game dev day. We are, oh man, all the unity drama. Everything's burning. I should have pulled up everything's fine. Everything is fine meme. That's what I should have had open up here. All right, we're gonna swap that out. Hang on. Everything is fine. Let me get this image. 1 second. Hang tight, everybody. Oh, it doesn't want to let me download that. Hang on. We're gonna try again. It's fine. Here it is. Right here it is. Open in new tab. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, good night. Hello, Captain Coder here on this beautiful Thursday, folks. It's Thursday. Everything's fine. Unity didn't make any announcements, didn't make any changes to anything ever. Nothing ever has gone wrong in the history of Unity. It's called Unity because we're all together. We're dancing around in circles. We're holding hands. Unity just announced that no one ever has to pay anything ever. They're gonna give all game developers all the money in the world so that we can all make our dream games. Unity, so great to hear. Unity's out there supporting game devs to the best of their ability. They're gonna be, yeah. So, folks, everything. It's fine, folks. It's fine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you on this beautiful Thursday, folks. I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is a computer science educator. I teach computer science and programming at a school for ages 10 to 14. Hang on, my camera feels off. Does my camera feel off to anyone else? Is it just me? Is my camera weird? Look, are we too close? How's the camera, folks? Is the camera right? Hang on. Let's get it in there real good. How's the camera? Is this perfect? What do you guys think? Right here? Is this where we need the camera? Is it working? How's the camera? Camera's good. Okay, good. Let's try again. Now we got the camera working. Let's try again. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and Captain Coder is a computer science educator. Folks, as you know, everything is perfect in the world of game dev right now. There's no drama. There's never been any drama ever. And we're all just making our games happy as can be. It's so nice to have everyone here. We're going to zoom out. It's too close. I'm so glad to have the whole crew with us here on this beautiful Thursday morning. It's Game Dev Thursday. I just want to say hello to all of you beautiful people out there. Mooniz, thank you so much for popping in. Thank you for being so flirsty. Stygian, thank you for being first. Again today. Kilmster, HFS Kilmster. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. It's nice to have you. The little cousin. I'm so glad you're doing well, my friend. I'm doing absolutely fabulous. I'm a little tired of how amazing Unity's been. I'm a little tired of how much people have been praising Unity the last couple of days. So it's been rough. It's been a little bit annoying how much praise Unity's been getting the last couple of days. And all the messages and stuff coming in. I'm not tired of hearing about it at all. So it's so nice to have you all here. Dramulks, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm excited to see your adventures into what is the game engine you're using? Surreal, SIR real, Surreal, the game engine. Or is that the game? Surreal, new game engine, Surreal, the game engine, SIR. REAL, Surreal, the night of game development, folks. So I'm so excited to see what you come up with. Look, folks, it's fine. Look, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If there's any time to defend making your own engine, this is it. That's correct. Darkman, holy cannoli, Darkman, how have you been? How's your project coming on? It's been a while. I haven't seen you in so long. Darkman, how are you? Darkman, what did Darkman say here? I missed your chant, Darkman. Did you just waving hello? Darkman, I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. It's so nice to see you. Javasaurus X, thank you so much for popping in. Thank you for being with us on this beautiful day today. I'm so glad you're here. Naloth, welcome to the stream. How you been, my friend? I'm here for the Unity drama, my friend. It's been a while. It's been a thing. Ascertainment. Thank you so much for coming in. How you doing, my friend? Are you Captain Planet's brother? Some people think so. Some people have said that. Look, my origin is unclear. I was manifested. I don't know why I'm here. But I know what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to attain. I'm trying to share the power of code. The power of code. We're combining, Captain Coder with the power of friendship, the power of coding, the power of assembly, the power of electricity. With our powers combined, we have Captain Coder. He's our hero. Gonna take that bug count down to 0. I sang it wrong. Where's the grumpy game dev when we need him? What are we building today? Board spaces. What are we doing today? Good question. What are we doing? Today is Game Dev Thursday. We're going to be working on a paper doll character customizer. Today. Backseat coding, folks. As you know, backseat coding absolutely encouraged here. If you have questions, ask them. You can use the question command to get them in there. TQ. How are you, my friend? Thank you so much for coming in. TQ, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy, where we learn and code and code. Learn and code and grow together as a crew. That's our goal. Javasaurus. Shh. We're using the latest game engine. We're going to be using the latest game engine. What's the opposite of unity? Opposite of unity. Hang on. We're going to... antonyms for unity. We're division. We're creating divinity. We're creating our new game engine called Division. Division game engine. It's gonna be the best game engine of all time, folks. Too dear, happy to have you here. Also, we got Code Rad Games, folks. Do you guys know the incredible Code Rad Games? Code Rad Games. Check this out, folks. Check this out. You see this art on the screen? This little Rogue Blight. Code Rad Games making an amazing game. 2D precision combat game. Souls-like inspired. Shh. Code Rad, don't tell him. Code Rad Games, so happy to have you here with us. We're going to be playing, folks. If you guys don't know, Showcase Saturday is coming up this Saturday. We have an incredible showcase this Saturday for you. We're gonna have a huge lineup of guests. We got Wavy, we got Lance, we got the Practical NPC. Code Rad Games is gonna be here talking about the game. We're gonna be playtesting the game live. You're gonna watch me fail hard at this game. You saw that gorilla. You're gonna watch me die over. And don't you want to watch the captain be embarrassed over and over and over? We're going to have Art here with us. Krastenstein is also releasing a game. Make sure you guys be here on Saturday. It's going to be amazing. And if you want to share, we still got some spaces left. If you want to share your project, what you're working on, be sure to hop on the Discord, add it into the community showcase thread, and we'll get you on. Board spaces. How Unity drama, please. Nayla wants more Unity drama. Two Deer says Unity. I grab my Godot, then I'm leaving. Yeah, you're gonna grab it. We're gonna see what's happened. Look. Captain Coder is a simpleton, folks. folks, Captain Coder is a simpleton. I know nothing. I know nothing but code, and I've been doing game development for about 9 months now. I've only been doing game dev for 9 months. Unity is the only thing I know. It's the only thing I know. It's sad. It's sad, really. I'm a simpleton. We're gonna use it because that's what I know, and I don't know how to do anything else. So Godot isn't easy. It's not. So here's the thing. I've used Godot a little bit. I've made a few small projects in it. I actually really like Godot's interface. I like what Godot does. I like how lightweight Godot is. I think it's an awesome tool. I personally am not a fan. I'm not going to say I don't like GDScript. I actually think GDScript is great. It's not my cup of tea. I like strongly typed languages. Statically typed, not strongly typed. Statically typed languages. C#. I'm a big fan of C#. It's one of the things that gravitated towards Unity for. It's one of the reasons I gravitated towards Unity was the C#. I've fallen in love with C#. I know, before you say it, Godot, yes, we can do C# and Godot, and I've done it. JavaSource X, slow down, you gotta let me get there. All the stuff I've done in Godot has been with C#, it's just not quite where I want it to be for web builds specifically. So I teach, for anyone who doesn't know, I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me as a computer science educator. I work my full-time job. My Monday to Friday, I don't know why I'm tapping my watch here. My Monday to Friday job, full-time, is at school teacher. I worked at a school for ages 10 to 14. It's a remote school. I want all of my student projects to do web builds, because we share them with each other on the web. Unity's web builds are amazing. I've had so much trouble getting the web builds for Godot and C# to work properly. We made a Minesweeper game, and it just basically didn't run at all on the web. Maybe it's me. Maybe I did something terrible. Maybe it wasn't good. I did it in C#. The GDScript stuff seems awesome. Okay, sorry. Board Spaces, I just want to say welcome aboard, my friend Beliar. I'm so glad you're here. And Colon3, I'm so glad, so happy to have you guys here. How is everybody doing on this Thursday morning? I hope you guys are just as fine as I am. If I missed something in the chat, folks. TQ asked, are we using Godot? I'm about to make a lot of people real sad. We're using, oh no. Look, C++ is a fabulous language as well. All right, folks, we're using Division. We're going to be using Division today. So this is Division. This game engine here is called Division. What are we doing today? What are we trying to do? If I miss something in the chat, folks, feel free to copy paste it, ask them, tag me, and I'm more likely to see if you tag me and it highlights on my screen. But what are we doing today? This is what I had planned. And I decided not to change it. We're divisionity. Yeah, divisionity. We should all just embrace the genius of Chris Sawyer and code everything in assembly. True. That Today, I think you're right. We're doing a paper doll character customizer. We're going to take a look at what that is. See if we can get it in there. This is a new Unity. Did I sell my Unity stock? It's plummeting. If it's in free fall, folks. This is a new, all right, so let me show you what I did. This is a new Unity project. Time to buy Unity stocks. Buy the dip. No, Nayloth, this isn't Unity. This is disunity. This is division. We're doing quit you now. Just do it. Look, I plan. Look, it's hard to change. It's hard to change course. I teach two classes about Unity. And so I can't just switch I can't. It's sad. I know. I can't just switch. It'd be cool if I could. It'd be great. Yeah, Code Rad. Look, I've only been doing Unity for 9 months, and there's been it feels like every couple of weeks. Well, teach a class now to pivot Ross. We gotta get pivot meme. We got pivot. Come on, we got pivot. We can do it. The new official motto of Unity. Pivot. All right. We're gonna do ragdoll physics. No, wrong. That's not what we're doing. We're doing paper doll. Paper doll character customizer. We're gonna be using one of my favorite pieces here, opengameart.org. Folks, it doesn't matter if you're using Unity. It doesn't matter if you're using Unreal. It doesn't matter if you're using Pixelpan.io. OpenGameArt is a place you can go to find open art. This is open source art that you can use. Great for prototyping. And I think if I search for, I should have bookmarked this and pulled it up. One of my favorite ones here is this one, first person dungeon crawler. No, not this one. It's inspired that one. First person, this one here. This incredible, Clint Bellinger. I'm gonna go with Bellinger. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here. Clint Bellinger has this awesome set of dungeon crawler assets they used to make a game here. Heroine Dusk. Awesome art here. Go check out this game. This game's super cool. But we're gonna use the art available in this particular thing here, and I'm gonna post a link to this as well. The art in this for our ragdoll setup, our ragdoll. You'll teach Unity in 2033, 0 to hero, first video and talking about not using Unity too dear. Thank you. Yeah, the heroine. That's the female it's the female version of a hero. It's a hero, a heroine. How am I pronouncing it correctly? All right, so we're gonna use these to create sort of a ragdoll setup. And so I got to download. We're going to download our heroine set. The female hero. Got it. Yeah. I'm just look. All right, let's open this up here. This is our sprite sheet. We're going to take this. We're going to add it into Unity. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add this into Unity. Correct. Heroine. How to pronounce heroine with an E. Heroine. Oh, I did. It is how a heroine. Okay. Is it? It's heroine. Okay. Look, people, don't get here. Let's ask YouTube. I don't want to watch your ad. Is it spelled the same for the heroine? Okay, I am saying it right. This is the female heroine. I'll just say hero. We're sorry, folks, getting distracted. People, it's okay. Look. It's fine. Didn't you know? Here, look. It's fine. Nothing wrong. English 101 right here. Look. Too dear. Captain Coder. Look, I'm a programmer, not a wordologist. I'm not a wordologist, folks. I don't know them words. Let's take our here. So I'm going to create a folder here. Create folder sprites like this. We are going to add in our. This is one of my favorite. This is awesome because I think this particular graphic set is set up to be a nice spreadsheet already. It happens, JavaSource X, that caps lock. It happens. Stop yelling at me. It happens. That cat, look, this is why, listen, I'm gonna hold my mic next to my keyboard. This is why my mic, I don't know if you can hear it. This is the sound my keyboard makes. When I hit that caps lock, it's like, oops, you messed up. You done messed up. Could you hear it? Sorry, my keyboard makes a sound when I turn on the you sir need a new keyboard. No, it's intentional. It's intentional. It warns me. Hey, your caps lock's on. You're about to yell at someone, and I gotta be like, no, yeah. Well, the caps lock makes this much easier. Thanks for informing me. You're welcome, Moon. You're welcome. All right, so we're gonna add in our heroine graphics here. Our hero graphics. Oh, Dramux, why did you have to say that? You'll notice, look how tiny. Look how tiny that is. Look how tiny that is. We don't want to have to, if we play our game, we don't want it to be that small. We don't want it to be that small, so let's check it out. Distron, welcome back, Distron. Welcome to the stream. We want Godot. Look, Naloth, if I learned anything from the 90s, remember they said Sega does what Nintendo don't? Sega does what Nintendo don't. From what I understand, please don't cancel me. Please don't cancel me. Unity does what Godot don't. No, I'm kidding. I love Godot. Don't stop me. Stop. All right, folks. Before I get in too much trouble, have a beautiful day. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. I love Godot, folks. I take it back. Here. Can I remove points? Add points. One sec. Points. Add Naloth. Here's 1,000 points to you, my friend. 1,000 points. Well, I didn't. Okay. All right. Points. Remove the captain coder. I don't know if this works. I've never had to do this. 1,000 points. All right, so 1,000 points, Naloth, because. That's why. All right, folks. So we happen to be in Unity. This is too small. I don't like it. So what I can do in Unity is I can adjust the pixels per unit. In this picture, how big do I want the pixels to be? I want to say, let's try 32. 32 is usually the number I like the most. Nope, 32 is not good enough. Still too small. Let's go with 16. Let's try that. So we can adjust our pixels per unit to scale this bad boy up. Look at that. Look at that fuzzy mess. Moon, stop. No, I never said anything. Don't add that as a quote. Stop it. I ain't never done nothing to no one, never. I ain't never done nothing to no one other. Distron, how have you been, my friend? Thank you so much for being here. Delete the voods, yeah, delete those voods. Distron, what have you been working on, my friend? It's so nice to have you here. All right, so it's nice and fuzzy. Here. And so what we can do to fix this is because it's pixel art. Let's look at this beautiful pixel art. This beautiful pixel art created by Clint Bellinger. Go support Clint Bellinger. Beautiful pixel art. But here. Look at how crisp that needs to look. We need to pixelize it. So one thing we can do to get rid of this, what's happening here is we have compression happening, and that's killing our pixels here. And so we actually, on this particular sprite, it's called, all art, and not all, but this is called a texture here. We need to adjust this sprite here. And I'm going to turn the filter off. This is our filter mode. I'm going to do no filter. I'll click apply. Gets a little bit crisper. You'll notice the colors are all wonky, though. Distron, I know, man. I'm hoping, look, Distron, it's what I've been learning for 9 months. I've built a whole curriculum around Unity. Amazing stuff. Yeah, go check Beliar. Go check him out. Nearest neighbor for the render. Yeah, so check it out. This happens to be Unity. That's right. This is happening. The colors are all messed up because we're doing compression. So what we want to do, because we are doing pixel art, we want to turn compression off. When we compress things for high quality images, for images that you want to sort of fuzz together, compression is great. It tricks your eye. We want no compression on it. Click apply here. And then the colors are still off. What is it? We need to tell it to, no. Why are the colors still off? Someone help me here. There's one other thing I gotta do. Is it resize? No. What is it? I want to turn off no compression. There's something I gotta do. There's one last thing. What am I missing? Naloth, welcome to lurk mode here. Lurk here and a lurk there. Here lurk, there lurk, everywhere lurk. We appreciate you lurking with us. Oh, is this the right colors? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure the colors are off here. Doy, thank you for the toy, Lance. I appreciate it. Welcome to Game Dev Thursday, Lance. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Where is it? There's it's like anti. Can you move the chat so we can see? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I can. Distron. There it is. So the point filter here. I'm so sorry. So let's go back in time. The default settings are here. The default settings are here. So it's fuzzy. The filters, there's a filter being applied to it that's trying to have it blend with things around it. Because we're pixel art, we want to turn the filter off. It's going to be a no filter, put it on point. We click apply. That's going to crisp up the shape there. The colors, compression will mess with the colors. So we want to turn that off. So you notice it does, watch, check this out. You can really see it over here. You can really see it right here when I adjust the compression. So watch right here. When I turn the compression off, compression is actually trying to fuzz together. It's using something called nearest neighbor here. We don't want any compression on it. Click apply. And so that's going to crisp up those. So those are two things you can do. There's a third one. Is it this? I swear that, no, that was not, that was wrong. I swear, and now my brain can't remember. There's a third one that we can adjust, but I just forget what it is. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So I apologize for that. So we want to make sure the filter's off so it doesn't fuzz anything. And then we want the compression off so that it doesn't lose any of the color that it had. We don't lose any of the colors. And I think one thing is this might actually be the correct look. And my brain's just having issues with it. Lance says, doing good, Cap. It's been an interesting couple of days. I'm making my code work though. Awesome, Lance. I still got you for Showcase Saturday. You still able to make it, my friend? Lance, that sounds awesome. I'm glad you're doing well. All right, so the next thing is this is a whole sprite sheet. We really want to be able to access the individual components of this sprite sheet separate from each other. So what we can do is we're going to slice this up. We're going to slice it up, and you're going to see that we have a little bit of a problem here, I believe. I believe there's a slight problem with it. When I go to slice it up, I can do the, I can't slice. Look, my slice is grayed out. My slice is grayed out in my sprite editor. My slice is grayed out. I can't slice it. What's going on? I don't know. Oh, I know. This sprite mode here, we're going to switch this to multiple. Click apply. Click apply here. It's gone. My heroine set's gone. Come back here. Now, if we come into the sprite editor, we have slice. So by default, the images are set up to be singles. We need to put it on multiple so we can actually slice it up. We can slice it up into multiple sprites. We can do sort of an automatic slice, but this is going to be, if we do this, it makes it harder to lay these out on it. Look, it's also not quite understanding how these are sliced because these are set up so there's a hand in between them. So the auto slice isn't going to work for us. I personally like to try and set up my slices so I can slice it. I just have them left to right, top, bottom like that. So I can slice them out and they're aligned nice. So if I do it by cell count, I'm going to say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 columns, 2 rows. I can click slice like that. And it works out. It works out. We have a lot of extra space around them, and I think we can deal with it. I think it's okay to deal with that. Look how you'll see here. They've done. The Clint Bellinger did a great job with this. Actually, I'm noticing this is actually an incredibly well done slice. For the following reason, notice the position of these relative to the body. Relative to the body. The idea is that these are going to line up nice if they're at the same position. So I'm going to go ahead and close this to show you that again. Show it again. We set multiple. Sprite mode has to be set multiple. So I select my art here. I'm in a 2D project. I have to make sure it's a sprite 2D. In a 2D project, that's the default. We set the sprite mode to multiple. We're going to turn off the filter, turn off the compression because we're using pixel art. If you're not using pixel art, you probably want to leave those on. Click apply. And now I can open up the sprite editor. I'm going to slice it by cell count. This image is set up to be sliced by a cell count. It happens to be 8 by 2. Now, when I click this little arrow on my asset, I actually get a bunch of the sprites. I get all of the sprites that are inside of here. I can take my heroine, my hero here, add that to the middle. I'm gonna call this hero. This is my base here. I'm gonna put it at exactly 0, 0. Put it at exactly 0, 0. Sweet, sweet, exactly 0, 0. And this sheet is set up such, and I believe this is true. If I put this here, I'm gonna nest it inside of this object. Check that out. Check that out. That put that armor, that clothes on it, you know, and I can actually swap this out here. And these are set up. These are set up so that way when you swap them out, if they are lined up perfectly, we actually get sort of this dress up paper doll. It's called a paper doll setting here. One thing that's interesting is that this head, am I just wrong? Are these not actually lined up properly? Feels like the head's slightly off to me. Does the head look weird to anyone, or is it just me? Is it just me? Does it look weird? I feel like it looks close. Okay, I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. But yeah, since it's lined up here, and they did a really good job with this so that the weapons as well line up perfectly. It's sliced so that they line up perfectly when it's at 0, 0, 0. And then we can swap that graphic out here to change what that character's holding. So this here is often referred to paper doll. And this is because be seen into the hole in the cape cloth. Yeah, the neck can be seen. I don't quite understand what's going on with that. I feel like it's off just by a little bit. Polygon Pilgrimage, thank you so much for saying that. I don't know why it looks slightly off here. Point and the Polygon Pilgrimage, 50 points to you. Thank you so much for letting me know your thoughts. On top instead of going inside. Remember when we actually cut these out? Smab, I had the G.I. Joe paper dolls. You'd cut them out and you'd like clip them to each other. Hang on, let me move this out of the way. I think it's actually set up properly. It's called a patter doll. I think you just type it up, paper doll, because back in the day, kids would cut them out and would dress up the character. Yeah, let me get the chat back on here. And I'm gonna actually just minimize my, I'm gonna not minimize, but reduce the size of my Unity here so we can see. Hugh, welcome back to the stream, my friend. Hope you're having a beautiful day. But yeah, so we have this. One thing that is interesting is the order of these is important. The order of these is important. Now, this is behind that one. I can adjust the order here. But then I have to sort of remember the number and the order. Okay, I can remember the number and the order if I do it that way. A better way to do it. That's right, they had tabs. I should have bought a little a paper doll to show on screen or set something up like that. But let's see if we can pull some up here. Also, my alerts aren't working, but the Polygon Pilgrimage, thank you so much for the follow. I gotta sing you a song, my friend. Polygon Pilgrimage, I'd like to welcome you to the crew today. Thank you for following me. Polygon Pilgrimage, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you being here on this beautiful Thursday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And Smab, welcome back to the stream. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah, so notice something isn't quite right with this setup here. I don't quite know what it is. I'm not quite sure what's bothering me about it. But when I look here, the hair is like on top of it. Here, one second. I've done this project before. So I think I might actually have to modify this this art assets to get it to work. Because I want, is that right? Here, let's hold these side by side. No, that one, it looks correct. It looks correct here. Maybe slightly off by one. Feels like maybe it's slightly off here. Slightly off. I don't quite understand. Can you make the clothes semi-transparent? Ah, that's an idea. Can I make it transparent? I feel like I could if I added in color. There we go. Yeah, I don't quite understand what's like. I think it's in the color. Yeah, I think the colors are wrong. I think there's something I need to do in my settings here that I just can't remember. None? No, that is incorrect. Why can't I remember? Format. Automatic should be fine here for this. Snabble, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? The hair feels too light and therefore appears separate and different from the clothing. Changing the background color might help as well. All right, so I have done this before. I made a separate set of assets to do it. It is what I ended up having to do. Not having to, but I did before. So I turned it into 2 sets of assets. We're going to try them real quick. We're going to try something. We're going to see if my separate set of assets. All right. All right. So I've done this as a project in the past for my students. And this probably is what happened to me. Really, though, the reason I made 2 sets of assets for my students, so check this out. I have a hero, this hero set here, and I have the weapon set separate. The reason I separated these into 2 is actually so I can make my students do one. So I walk through how to do it with this one, and then I have the students do it on the other one. So it's like a practice. You get a practice doing it. We're gonna do it with these 2 and see. We're gonna see if the colors are correct on these. I might have gone and done a color correction on these. Let's do no point, no filter, and no compression. I might have done a color correction on these. We're gonna find out whether or not. So now we have 6 and 1. Also, I teach young students, and I didn't want anyone to I removed the one where there was no clothes. I removed the one with no clothes because I'm a school teacher and I didn't want my students to have questions. I teach ages 10 to 14. There's nothing wrong with it. But here we go. We're gonna try this one like that. Okay. Save. All right, we're gonna add that in there. We'll put it at 0, 0. And let's see if these actually fit on nicely. Those look weird too. I think it is the color. I think I'm missing. Does that look better or the same? Does it look better or the same? I'm not sure. I feel like I might be losing my mind as well. It feels the same. Better or the same? What do people think? Fuel Snap, but we're gonna write your own damage now after the Unity debacle. We're look, Snabble. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. Yeah, I don't understand, and maybe it's because I end up changing the background color later. I'm not 100% sure. Polygon Pilgrimage looks a bit better at the hair is not meshing with the background color as much. Yeah, I don't exactly know. I think it's fine. I think my brain is just, for some reason, tricking me. On it. Tuna Omelet, you teach kids age 10 to 14 gamma. Man, I grew up in the wrong continent. Yeah. Tuna, welcome to the stream, my friend. Happy to have you back. For anyone who doesn't know, I teach computer science and programming at a school for ages 10 to 14. So I'm a middle school computer science and programming teacher. I happen to teach music too, which is super cool. But it's like my dream job. I've been programming for over 20 years. I did a lot of freelance work. I've worked in industry as a software engineer. My background is mostly in compilers and programming language. So I worked my big job. Not my big job. One of my first big roles was at a company where we were writing our own Java compiler. This is back in the day of Java 1.5. Java 1.5. Board spaces, yeah. So my background is programming languages and compilers. So I've written a bunch of compilers. I love writing programming languages. Back in the days of Java 1.5, yeah. So I worked at a company. We had a supercomputer that had 6,000 CPUs. 6,000 CPUs. This was when Java 1.6 was just coming out. That's like proper coding for nerds, yeah. 1.6, the 1.6 was just coming out, and we were having issues doing massively parallel computations. But most of the people that worked at the company were programming in Java. We were doing a bunch of machine learning stuff, and we needed to have a custom JVM to run our scientists, our researchers' code. We needed a custom JVM to be able to handle and parallelize and do the distributed computing on this giant supercomputer. And so, exactly, Snabble. So we wrote a custom JVM. And so I worked a lot on that compiler. I worked a lot on bytecodes and doing crazy stuff. So that's where my first big job, I worked there for 6 years. 6 years working on that. So not a crazy amount of time. 6 years is what I did there. That was I'd say my first big job. I did freelancing stuff before that. I started freelancing when I was like 16, doing web dev, did a lot of PHP. Look, nothing wrong with PHP. It's a great language to get started in doing stuff. Do I want to program in PHP all the time? No, but I don't think it's wrong to program in PHP. I did it. I did a lot of work in Cold Fusion, which was like Microsoft's version of PHP. The last big job I had was doing a bunch of stuff with machine learning and AI. So data aggregation models. Snapple says, I wrote some new Java 1.4 code in 2016. That platform was stuck on JVM that was almost 20 years. Yeah, that's before generics. I remember Java 1.5 is when generics came out. Like, yes, we got generics. Dragon Spirit Games have a house full of kids. Ooh, so can't really listen, but wanted to wish you awesome stream nonetheless. Thank you, Dragon Spirit Games, for popping in. Remember, you got to keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you're welcome back anytime. Enjoy the kids. You just work for fun now. That's right. Board spaces. That's exactly right. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I actually went to school to be a music teacher. I have a music education degree, and that just didn't quite work out. I couldn't handle the, sadly, music gets squashed a lot. Music, unfortunately, gets squashed a lot. I couldn't handle that. It was really hard for me to be a music teacher. And I'd been programming for a long time. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go into programming. And then I fell in love with a field called computer science education. I went to graduate school for computer science education. And I've been studying that for the last 10 years and building curriculums. I'm writing a book. I work at, and now I got my dream job. I work at a school for young kids, ages 10, my dream job would be working at like even younger. I want to write a book on starting intro to programming for 7-year-olds. That's like my ideas. Third grade. I started programming when I was 7. So of course I want to start kids programming when they're 7. I'm pretty close, 10 to 14. I work at a school. I love this school. I get a lot of freedom to build stuff. It's amazing. I love my job. All right, rambling. This is a project I have my students do. This is a project we're doing in my 2D Unity class. 7, absolutely. You don't have them necessarily start like just writing code and stuff, but they have the idea of start thinking abstractly at 7 years. Absolutely. I had a 14-year-old last year graduate from my school, who he'd been programming for 7 years. I had him for 2 years. He'd been doing stuff with our other computer science teacher for several years as well. Who like did an algorithm. He did the Princeton algorithms course. So there's a 13, 14-year-old. He was 13 at the time, 14-year-old now. Did Princeton algorithms. I had him do this class, algorithms course, with me. He has essentially a bachelor's degree. Not this course. This course here, parts 1 and 2. Not gifted only. No, not gifted only. The algorithms course, you build it up. It turns out these things, Everyone thinks computer science and stuff, start saying, oh, it's hard. How do you get kids in? How do you just start doing it and you build on it? The reason it's like we don't really start introducing it till university. And so you can do this stuff before then. Abstract thinking is absolutely something anyone can do. Anyone can do as long as you have it, you build it up from scratch. You do those little things there from scratch. The colors are messed up here, I think. This hand here looks like the wrong color. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. No, that's the right color. My brain is just thinking things aren't right. It's the background. I think I tried the background. Han, just tuning in. What are we talking about? Welcome back. An IPO. Happy to have you here with me on this beautiful day. How are you doing, IPO? What? People are asking what we're doing. We got distracted here. Today is Game Dev Thursday, folks. Every Thursday we try and do something fun with game dev. Look at some mechanic. Love building out something new. It's usually a prototype. I don't like to get too weighed down in a detail here or there, but we try and learn something new. We're doing paper doll character customizer today. So the idea is we're gonna have these different outfits that our character can wear. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna put the original in here because I think the original was fine. Is it gonna let me undo? Save? Can I go back? It's gonna let me undo that far into the past. I'm holding down Control Z, see if we can get back to it. Nope. All right, we're gonna go back, use the original files here. I think it's just my brain hurting. I don't know that there's actually a difference in this. But yeah, I love teaching. It's the thing I wanna do. We're gonna pull the original one in here. I think my eyes were playing tricks on me. I think I'm like zoomed in and like being really critical. I'm like, hey, this is not quite what I want. I think there might be a setting I'm missing. So we had set this to 16. No compression. I swear there's one more setting down here. I need to go look at my guide and see it here, but we're gonna slice this up here by cell count 8, 2. Okay. So I want these to be sliced nicely. I don't have to figure this stuff out. I think it's just my brain. Board Spaces, love hearing this. Have a young kid myself, so curious as to when to expect kids to be interested in stuff like this. It's all about how you introduce it. And some kids aren't going to be interested in it. That's fine. The main thing in my mind is the exposure. You expose kids to this sort of stuff. I think I might have packed some of my stuff here. There's some great, no. Here it is. Here, if your kid likes games, here's a great one to start kids with. Look, this is the type of thing I do with really young kids. I have this game, Codemasters, programming logic game. Codemasters is amazing. Do I have Potato Pirate? I don't think I have Potato Pirates in here. I think I packed it. We're trying to move. Codemasters, a board game for young kids where you learn logical thinking, if, then, math, doing that sort of stuff. Great game, Codemasters. I should get an affiliate link for that. Codemasters is an awesome one. Hang on, let me go to my closet here. I got some other stuff. These Juku kits. I don't know if you guys can hear me talking into my closet here. Avalanche. These are awesome ways to get kids into programming. These are awesome ways. Juku. You build out different little things. You have circuits. So you build a guitar with this one. You hit those strings. It actually plays noise. Juku is awesome. We have these little circuits. It has a block language for coding that is amazing. I've used this. It says 10. I've used this with kids who are like 5 years old. They love this stuff. They love that. You're into skeletons in my closet, Dramos. And there's a bunch of them. Here's another one. These Juku kits are amazing. This one here, you can do all sorts of simulation stuff with it. It has this board, and you can program how it lights up. You can connect these, do multiple together. This one here is a whole robot. These are amazing ways to get young kids into it. Tactile program. Get kids touching and playing stuff. Absolutely. Go ahead, do it, JavaSourceX. Getting kids excited about programming. The earlier you can get them excited about it, the better chance they have. And again, you should do a list on, I know people keep telling me that. I should do it. I should. I should. But yeah, I hope you do it. Get out there, Get those kids excited, get them doing something, thinking about the logic. Everyone gets, sorry, and if I missed something in chat, I'm so sorry. People think that programming is hard. Was that one with the falling balls? I don't know. I might have missed something. Is that, I missed a joke? Is that a joke? I can't tell. I have another one called Potato Paplinko. I'm not sure about that one. Potato Pirates card game. This one is amazing. Potato Pirates is another one for learning about programming. My high school students, when I was doing high school, loved this game. Love this game. You got to mash potatoes using for loops and if statements and while loops. Oh, I have the. Oh, I need to get this in here. I think it's packed. But check out this one. Turning Table, the mechanical computer. Yeah. So this stuff is cool. Turing tables. Gotcha. Yeah, check these things out. It's super cool. These things are amazing. I should get some affiliate stuff in there. Hanso High. Is my stuff working here? It's saying that Hanso High chatted recently, but I didn't see that. But Hanso High, if you chatted recently, thank you for being here, my friend. All right, what are we trying to do? Hit save here. We're trying to make a ragdoll. We're talking about ragdoll. Oh, not ragdoll. Paper doll game here. So we have our paper doll hero. Our paper doll hero here. Hero. And then inside of that, we're going to be able to attach armor to them. We want these to line up center here. No, this definitely looks, oh no, it looks fine. It's just the highlight there. I think it's when it's selected, it looks weird. Okay, so we have our hero here, and so this is gonna be our armor. And then we have another one here, and this is gonna be our weapon. Okay, weapon. So armor, weapon, and really, this is the basics of it. All we gotta do is swap out these images to get it there. So we're gonna build out some tools to swap these out, the logic of how to make it work. Sijian says, how many 10+ years experienced programmers watch how to captain 1 hour setup one on the same sprite atlas? Sijian, I know, I'm sorry, Sijian. Look, these things take time. It's fine here. Sijian, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm sorry it took so long. I can't help but get excited about teaching here. All right, we got it. Perfect. We did it. We done did it. All right, so we have this set up here. The next thing we might want to do is, okay, I want my program to let me swap these things out. I want to be able to swap out these sprites here. I want to be able to change what we're wearing. If we're wearing anything, we can disable this. If we have no armor on, we can disable the weapon if we have nothing on. So let's think about the logic of how we could do that. In here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with just buttons to do it. Just buttons. We want to write some logic to swap those things out. So I'm gonna add in a button here. Let me add in a title too. We're gonna add in a title. I'm gonna use Text Mesh Pro here. I'm gonna import the Text Mesh Pro Essentials. I bet I need to set up, I bet this project's, the code and stuff's not gonna open up nicely here. Let's click on that. I want this text to show up at the top here. So in Unity, I want it to show up sort of at the top here. I'm gonna set it to the top. If I click, hang on, before undo. These let us set our pivot. So our numbers here are gonna be relative to the pivots that we have set up. If I click here, these numbers become relative to that position. This is our new pivot here. So if I adjust now, I hit 0, it's gonna put it in that position at the top. Alternatively, if I hold down Alt, it will actually move. It'll move our, whatever we have selected on the canvas to that position. And the one I like here the most happens to be, for the title here, I'm gonna select at the top, stretch across the top. So if I hold down Alt, it's going to say I'm going to stretch that object as well. If I hold down Shift, it's going to say I'm going to set my object's pivot to be on that edge there. So go ahead and click that to put it in that spot. I'm going to give it here a little title, character customizer, like this. And this, it might be your inventory screen. It might be something along those lines. And then I want to center this on the screen as well. Where is my center button? Alignment. So anyone see alignment here? Why can't, oh, I just needed to scroll down. Alignment, put in the center there. Now on my game screen, I get the customizer. So in Unity, sorry everybody, in Unity, we do have a canvas and we can put that text there. I'm gonna call this title, like this. I don't like that default font. Unity doesn't give us a default font to go with. It gives us one font to use. You have to add any other font you want. And I have this font here, Advanced Pixel 7, one of my favorites, Advanced Pixel 7. I'm gonna add this one in here. This font, I really like this font here. It's a blocky, pixely, mono-spaced font that I often will use, Advanced Pixel 7. Great font. If you guys want to use this one, you can go download it here. Just make sure you give attribution where attribution is due. I think it's free for personal use. I think the license is like $5 or $15 if you want to use it in a project. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to create a folder for my fonts now. And I only have one, but I often will have multiple fonts, and I'm going to add this font in here like so. Add that font in here like this. And I'm using a TextMesh Pro font, so I actually can't just set the font this way. I have to create a font atlas. I have to create a font atlas. Thindle says, I think a solo project counts as personal use too, as long as you don't do it for a corporation. I think, I'm not 100% sure about that. I'd have to double check. Also, my, so sorry, Dream Titan, thank you so much for the follow. My alerts, for some reason, I don't know why they're not working. 1 second, folks. We're gonna try, give me a second. This might break everything. Let's see if I can get my alerts working. Oh, I know why. I had to re-authenticate. See if Firebot, just turned the bot off, something terrible about him. Dream Titan, thank you so much for the follow. I'm sorry your message didn't come through. Dream Titan, I'd like to welcome you to the crew. Thank you for following me today. Dream Titan, thank you so much for the follow. And then we also got Co2 Fan. Co2 Fan, thank you for following me. Yeah. We got Co2 Fan and Dream Titan. Thank you for following me. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. I'm so happy you are both here on this beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you happen to be. Dream Chat, good morning, my friend. All right, I think I fixed those. If we get another one, we should hopefully get an alert. I don't know. Let's make sure my bot is still working. Check out the WHATS command. Yeah. I mean, if you make a personal website, I think a personal project, if you're not selling it, I also think it counts as a personal project. It comes down to if you're distributing it, I think becomes an issue. So it has to do with how distribution is determined. How distribution is determined. Okay. So let's try this. If you sell it for money, it's instantly not personal. Exactly. It's my personal income. All right, so we got this title. I want to use this font here. So in Unity, we need to actually create a font. I'm using TextMesh Pro, which is the new, when I go to add in something here, if I come down here to UI, you'll notice there's this legacy. I can get the old stuff if I want, but the TextMesh Pro are the new recommended ones in Unity as of, I think, 2021. And so what I can do here with this is I need to adjust the font. I need to create a font atlas. So I can do this from my window, TextMesh Pro, font asset creator. And now I think this takes most font formats. This happens to be a TTF, and I can drag this font in here. And I can just say, generate a font atlas. Generate a font atlas for us. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. And it's gonna actually generate a file here. And this is a font asset we can use with TextMesh Pro. I put this in here. And notice I get the suite. I don't know, suite. I like this font. It's definitely not the plain font we had. I like the blocky font here. It's really, really nice, really, really easy. You get ad revenue. I think that still counts. Javasaurus X. I'm not look. I ain't no legal expertise. I ain't no legal expertise. I don't know about no expertition. And now I just want to make it a little bit better. I often like to use the auto size as well. Auto size, say like, well, I know, I can scale it up and down here. Just take up the space that I want as my screen size changes and stuff. It'll work. But I like that. Character customizer. We could change the font's color if we wanted to. Woo! I like that one there. I often like it to have a little bit of a border on it. So when we get a background in here. So I have my font. We can play around with these colors. I usually like to, is it underlay? Is underlay the one I like? Click to expand. Color, black, or is it the outline? I can't quite remember if the underlay is an offset. Here we go. Nothing's happening. Is it underlay? Which one do I like here? Which one do I like? Maybe I just like the outline. I want to get a shadow on it. I thought underlay would give us a shadow. Is it lighting? No, glow will do it. Softness. Oh, dilate. Where's my... There it is. There it is. All right. If I zoom in here, we can kind of see it. We can kind of see it. We need to get that offset here in one direction, up, down. I like it to be on the bottom and to the right. So now you can kind of see it popping around. I don't know. My screen might not be the most easy to see, but we add just a little bit in there, and now it pops out a little bit, and you almost don't even see it. You almost don't even see it, but it'll pop out there. If there's a background that is lighter, you'll still be able to read it. Let's try that. Let's see on my main camera if I change this to a white color. Yeah, we can still read it. We can still read it. If I didn't have that on there, I don't think we'd be able to read it. Dark, we can still read. Light, so we can change this. Whoa! Sorry, I should have had a warning there. Undo. Let's go back to Unity Blue. Someone made a static wrapper to port Godot functions into their Unity namespace. Fascinating. Fascinating. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. We have this. We have our character here. We have these set up so we can swap them out. I'm going to create buttons to start out. We're going to create buttons we can click on to swap it out. So we're going to talk about the logic here of swapping out. We're going to do it a couple different ways. But I'm going to add in a button here. I'm going to add in a button. All right, so a button here. And I'm going to just I'm going to no armor. So it's going to turn our armor off. So no armor. I like to do button. No armor button. Again, I want to look at where I want to position it on my screen. I'm going to put these over on the left here. Slap that over unless I hold down Alt and Shift, move it over. I want there to be a little bit of space on the left so I can actually position this. I can drag it out a little bit here like that. I'll go with 20. That seems reasonable. And I'm going to put on this. So we have a button. Our text, it's actually a button has a text inside of it. I'm going to call this no armor. And then let's add another one. I'd say, how do you spell armor? That word looks weird. Or is it armor? Armor. Wait, it depends on where you are in the world, I think. O, just a single O. Let's see, what do people want? Then I can auto size that. And let's use our sweet font. CDN. CDN is armor. All right, we'll go with the U. We'll go with the U. Fresh Meat, we're gonna go with the U. Thank you, Fresh Meat, for your suggestions. Fresh Meat for contributing. Points. And for contributing to this project. 50 points to you. Look, I'm not going to leave you out there not getting anything for your contributions. Thank you so much for your contribution. No armor here. This is going to turn our armor off. Okay. Going to add in another button. We're going to add in another button here. Create another button. Button like this. It's going to be, we're going to go with cloth armor. Armor button. Yeah, I should update that text here too. Look at all this extra work I'm doing. I had to do this again. I'm going to have to position this over on the left. This time we'll do 20, and then I can move it up or down a little bit. This feels painful. This feels painful, right? doing all this custom layout stuff feels a little bit painful. I have to swap this sprite text in here. I have to come in here, change these settings, put it on there like that. So it's going to be cloth armor. I'm going to auto size it again. Okay. We might actually pick a consistent font to use. Every time I add in a button, I have to set like this slot here, that sort of thing. It'd be nice if we were able to have something that sort of organizes it for us. McNuts, nice to see you, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing on this beautiful Thursday? I hope you're having a beautiful day, McNuts. We want to be able to reuse this with these settings. We don't want to have to change it over and over. Layout groups, that's right, JavaSource X. Also, each time I make a button, I don't want to have to repeat this. One thing that I learned right away, and I had a problem. I didn't do this early. If you don't do this early in your program, turn your buttons and your texts into prefabs so you can reuse them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to create a folder here called prefabs. Folder, prefabs. I'm going to create another folder here called UI. And I'm gonna take this here, no armor. I'm dragging it in here. I'm just gonna rename this UI button. Or maybe I should just call it button. Button like that. So this is my custom button. And the cool thing about this, let's say I decide, okay, let me show you real quick. I'm gonna delete this one here. And instead I'm gonna use this button. I'm gonna add this button in. And I'm going to change this one to be cloth armor button. Armor button. Okay. And you'll notice it gets all of the things here. But if I come in here and I change this, default text, I think, hit save, notice it's going to update. It's going to update everywhere that I'm using this. If I decide, okay, I don't want to use auto size anymore. I want the font to be static at 26, 28. I want to, maybe I get a new font or I can't acquire a license for this font because it's no longer personal use. I can swap, maybe I want to do a different font here. Going back to this. It's going to change it on all of my buttons that are using the prefab here. So setting these up initially is a really good thing to do right at the beginning. Okay. And then when you modify these things outside of the prefab, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to modify this text outside of the prefab. I'm going to set this cloth armor. Set this one to regular no armor. Notice we get this blue notifier on the left saying this is a prefab that's been modified. And we can actually look at what has been overwritten. What are the overrides on it? We can, if we click apply all, it will apply it to all of the prefabs throughout the project that use it. If we revert it, it's going to remove those. But now, only the things that are not being overwritten will change. So if I change this again, I didn't override the font size, I didn't change this. So I can use this throughout my program now. Say, okay, I want this change to take place across the whole program. So prefabs are super powerful. Make prefab for your UI components early because you don't want to have to go through and change them all later. Hanso High says, I had to maintain a library that is recursive based at my company. It is and still is a nightmare to maintain. Yeah, it's, maintaining software is rough. It can be rough. You get what's called bit rot. You get all kinds of things going on. You get lots of people working on it. And so this is where I'm not saying that you should do solid principles ever, but this is the reason why things like solid programming came into existence. They're saying like, look, man, writing large software with teams is hard. Writing large software with teams is super hard to do. Bit rot is the word. Bit rot, basically like over time your code decays, your libraries fall out of people, discern bugs. So using solid principles can help that, but it adds overhead of having to use those principles. You can't just go for it. But yeah, bit rot is a term to use to describe code over time decaying. rotting. So like food rots, bit rot. Over time, the code gets less and less maintainable because if it's anyway, solid is one of those things that was sort of put together to try help manage the complexity of large software in that way. McNets, no Unity drama here. Yeah, I'm trying. Look, McNets, it's fine. It's fine. Fuel Snapple open, closed. Yes, is a big one. That's a big one. It's fine, McNets, it's fine. Look, it's called Unity because everyone's joining hands together, holding hands, doing a little dance. Nothing's wrong. Everything is fine. Bobby Fly, hey, my alerts still aren't working. Thank you so much for the follow, Bobby Fly, hey. Fly me to Bobby. Let me see you in the chat. I am glad you're here with us on Game Dev Thursday. Bobby Fly, thank you so much for the follow. If I'm saying your name wrong, feel free to correct me. Sorry that my alerts aren't working. I don't know what's going on with that. And Art, welcome back, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Folks, if you guys don't know the incredible Art Berklis, incredible streamer, incredible developer on the screen here. Let's get rid of this distraction here. These screenshots here, I gotta update this. We'll update this on Saturday, my friend. Art's creating an incredible game, the Warlock's Gauntlet. Don't sing if you don't want, please. I love singing, but if I'm hurting people's ears, I apologize. Art, incredible streamer, game developer, writing his own engine in C++ for this specific game, Warlock's Gauntlet. You gotta go check it out. Check it out on Steam. Give Art a follow. I know, 10x Diller, thank you for the clarification. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Folks, on Saturday. We got a showcase coming up on Saturday. We got an incredible lineup of people that are going to be showing off their games. Art is one of them. 8 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday, we're going to start. We got Wavy, we got Lance, we got Practical NPC, we got Code Red Games, Art Berklis, Krasenstein, and more. You guys, if someone's out there that wants to share what they've been working, doesn't have to be game related, can just be software related. Fuel, if you want to share some of the shader stuff you've been doing, come on in, share your work with us on Saturday. You can sign up on our Discord. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to be here. And Art, thank you so much for coming in, my friend. How are you doing? Sorry, we got distracted here a little bit. Rolling your own engine is game dev on ultra hard mode. It can be. It depends. Distron, I really want to write my own game engine for doing dungeon crawlers. I had so much fun doing the DC Jam. I think it would be, yes, it's more. I think it depends on what you're doing. You shouldn't just say, I'm going to start my game engine willy-nilly. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at here is each time I add in a button, I'm having to adjust the position. Each time I have to manage this, and that's really painful. So we're going to use a layout manager here. So I'm going to create a parent object. Would you like a suggestion for a game engine? Sure. If you're, feel free to suggest game engines. There's many out there, many to choose from. I'm going to create a parent object here. I'm going to call this our armor buttons. Okay. And notice these are nested inside of it. Division entity. Yeah. Division entity or tune entity. All right. These are nested inside of it. If I come over to my scene, we'll see these are nested inside of this thing here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I want this to just take up all the space on the left. I'm going to have it go to the left. I'm going to slap it over to the left like this. And then I want it to take up the whole left side here. Disunity, that unity, who knows? And I can adjust the size here. But the thing that is really nice is I can do a layout group. There's horizontal, let's go left to right. Vertical is going to go top to bottom. Vertical layout group. And it's going to automatically try and organize these in here in a nice way. Notice if I resize this, it doesn't scale here, but I can say, hey, control the width of my children. If I control the width, so nested objects are called children in Unity in a lot of places. Now, when I resize, the button widths will all match. They'll all match I can add some spacing in here, padding. Say I want them all. I don't like how much in it, so I'm gonna do left padding 20, right padding 20. Put it in there, and then I'll make this, let's go with 200 wide. All my buttons are gonna show up nice and centered in here. I don't want to expand the height. I can turn off expand height, then it'll match there. And then I might even say, well, I don't want it to be all the way at the top. I want there to be a little padding here. Let's go with 50 from the top. Seems like a reasonable. And so now if I add more buttons in here, those buttons just slap into place nicely because my layout manager, my layout group is managing that for us. Godoy, Wicked, Raylib, libgdx, Scratch. Oh, write one from scratch. Oh, they're saying Scratch was a game engine. I was like, I don't know if that's true. Vulkan, Frameworks, Monogame, STL. There's a lot of things we can do. We actually explored a bunch of them this summer. We did some Monogame. We did the Simple Fast Media Library. We did a little bit with STL. We did a Godot project. We wrote a game in CSharp. We wrote a game in, we wrote all the logic in C#, and then we slapped that into a bunch of different spots. Yeah, Roy Lisi, look, Roy Lisi. This, it's fine. I heard the news today. Oh no. Character customers are so much fun, Art says. I'm hoping to include a face customer for my game eventually. What are your goals for this one? We're just talking about the prototype of what we can do here. So I'm just talking about how you might go setting up some paper doll stuff here. And so we have an armor here. It's about how you got to set your sprites up nice. In 2D, in 3D, you do something similar but different. So it's like you swap different things out. You have different texture. You have different models that fit on top of each other nicely. And so here we can actually swap out the armor here. And the idea is you have them aligned nicely. So then you pop it in there. It just swaps out nicely like that. You can even go even further, do gloves, do wrists, do boots, every different spot, but it's all about how it's lined up in there. And then with the weapon, we can swap it out. So we talked about how to get this set up, the logic behind it, and now we're gonna add in some buttons that actually cause these changes. If we have time, we'll talk about how to do drag and drop here. How to do drag and drop here. So my official stance is paying per install seems insane. Does anyone know, and I haven't done any research on this, no matter which way I think about it, paying per install seems very strange. Are there other products or companies that do that? That's the question I have, and I haven't done any due diligence. I haven't done any research. Research is a strong word for it. I haven't looked up, but is that a pricing model that anyone else uses? I could understand if it was a huge burden on Unity when someone installs something, how much bandwidth is it using to down? I don't think it's down there. There are companies that do that. Smab, could you give me an example? Oracle charges per CPU. I knew Oracle did that. Not in game chat. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's right. So for distribution, you have pay per install. I would be interested in looking at that. So it could just be that it's so new to game dev. I have never sold a product that is that way. I've done SaaS, quite a few SaaS projects, a few like actual software products that get distributed, and some hardware products. Yeah, Oracle has an interesting price model for using their JVM. If they're still doing it, I remember that was a huge deal when that came out. All right, so let's look at the different armors. Let's give them a name. We have cloth. We have cloth armor. Let's give it a name to each one of these. So I was going to call this one cloth. I was going to call this one like, what would we call this one? Heavy cloth armor. I'll turn the weapon off here for a second. Is this heavy cloth armor? Oracle DB. Okay, Oracle has pricing to use it. Don't know any, not for dev paying at the very. So that's the thing. It's like, is it the dev that's paying it? So the person who creates, so it's interesting because they're putting the cost on the developer for installing it. This seems like cloth. Yeah, so what are we gonna call this one? Maybe we'll call that one cape. So we have cloth. This one should be like, we add a cape to it here. So you can use, Roy Lisi, I don't know exactly, but yes, you need charging per end. Yeah, it's the end user install cloth plus cape. Okay, we'll add in one here. We're gonna add a button here for that. We have a button here. I'm just gonna do cape, cloth, cape. You know, we'll call it that. And it doesn't, we don't need to be perfect here. We don't need to be perfect here. This one here, I'm gonna call this one leather. Call this cape button. Calling this one leather button. It is quite nuanced, yeah. It is quite. Their communication has been not great. Their communication has been bad. For lack of a better word, it's been pretty bad. Yeah, I agree. What's going on in here, Cap? Coder has long flowing red hair. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Look at, I'm beautiful. We are talking about, great question. Ridge Raider, I hope you're doing well. What are we doing today? I should pin this. I'm going to pin that up there. There we go. We are looking at, I almost spilled my water. We're doing paper doll character creator. We're creating our buttons. So you can swap this out. This is our leather. I think I'm going to call this next one studded. Yeah, studded armor, studded leather. Duplicate this button here. We're going to call this one studded button. Studded armor. We'll duplicate one more. The next one I think is chain. Let's look at it. Or chain or plate. I can't remember exactly what it looks like. Chain. So this one's going to be chain armor. Chain button. The changing of the terms of service in such a short duration and applying to previous things is really funky. I understand that. So my basic feeling is Unity wanting to make more money is not a bad thing. Paying per install feels very weird to me. It feels wrong. The thing that paying per install actually doesn't feel wrong. Changing a pricing model on something that is already published and out there is what feels wrong to me. That is the part for me. So that is the part that is so off to me, is that it is changing the pricing model for things that are already out there and published. That is the worst part. And they've come out and said, yes, it's going to apply to things that are already published. And that feels crazy to me. Doing it for future releases doesn't feel as bad. It's very odd how they're doing it. Grimwood Games, Strong Bad. So nice to see you, Strong Bad. How you doing, my friend? It's nice to have you here. Grimwood, I mean, what do we expect from the... Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I am new to game... Look, folks, I am new to like the world of game dev. I am so new to the world of game dev. I've been doing this since January. I don't know everything that's going on in the world of game dev. All I know is that this feels, man. All right, so we have chain armor, studded chain, a plate button. So this one's going to be our plate armor here. Plate armor. Like that. And we'll swap this armor out here. It's a lot of... Look, folks, all I can say is everything's fine. It's fine. Cyan Streams, good morning to you, my friend. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you beautiful people. All of you beautiful people that I'm so glad you're here. Folks, if you guys don't know, I need to create a command for you, Science, because you're amazing. Science Streams. If you guys don't know the incredible Science, if you like education, if you like science, if you like ants, if you like having a good time on Twitch, be sure to follow Science Streams. Incredible guy. Balint is what you're 1/3 of Science Streams. Balint's the main host, though. We love. Last night we did Whack'em Wednesday. Yeah, how are you, my insatiable friend? Look, last night was a good. I was almost satiated last night. I was almost satiated. Science. It's nice to have you here, though. Look, I think that their communication was terrible. Is terrible. Is terrible. Saying stream. Is our beacon of hope for our favorite game engine. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, we got a plate armor button. We're gonna add in another one here. Plate armor button. I'm gonna call it, this last one I always call royal plate. Royal plate. Because it adds in some shiny. Adds in some shiny here. The last one will be this royal plate here. Royal plate like that. Always glad to be here to learn. I'm glad you're here, Science. Savage. All right, so we're gonna change the text on this one to royal plate armor like that. And notice this one doesn't quite fit nice in there. I'm just gonna change it royal armor for minutes. So there's some like decisions you might have to make. Given the state of their documents, you'd expect the communication to be terrible. That's true, Smab. So that's fair. Very true. True woo woo. As Jern might say, true woo woo. Folks, also, we got the Jern Jam coming up. Jern Jam 2. If you guys love making games, if you want to make your own game, if you love being you, join the Jern Jam, folks. Starting, I'm in it. I don't know what it says. Oh, it's because this isn't my real account. This is my fake account. Jern Jam 2. We're gonna be working on that all next week. So I'm super excited about that. We'll be working on our Jern Jam. I'm going to be joining the Jern Jam. It's all about learning something new. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I will try. Look, maybe I will try another engine. That's TBD. We're going to find in 9 hours, 30 minutes and 35 seconds. That's when I'll have to decide what I'm doing for the Jern Jam. But I'm excited for it. And be sure to go check out Irish John Games, host Irish John. Irish John's an incredible streamer as well. We did a project with Irish John as well. Creator of Rise of Piracy, single multiplayer action exploration real-time strategy game. Incredible streamer, streams almost every day. Go check out his game on Steam. Does he have a cool badge? I need to get one of those badges. Art, I want to write an engine for doing dungeon crawler. But check me out. Not surprised the CEO of Unity sold his shares last week before. I try not to do. Look, I'm trying not to speculate. I'm trying not to speculate. I'm trying to keep it together over here. I'm trying to do what I do. I'm trying to be me. I can't just stop using Unity because I teach a class. And so I'm going to be teaching Unity through do. That's right, Ridge Rider. We do the do. I'm going to be teaching Unity at my school the rest of this year, so I can't just abandon Unity. I'm hoping some things will get better, but for now, we just have to know that for now, it's fine. It's fine. Look. For now, it's fine. Nothing's wrong. Everything is working. Yeah, he sold stocks every month for many, many months. Yeah. So I don't. Look, I don't want to get into it. Look, this is a safe space. I'm locked in. I am locked in, at least for this year. Should be able to be applied to exactly. Belier, here's what I'll say. One of the things I do like about Unity and have liked in the past is it is accessible to people starting out. You get a lot of features, and my biggest thing is it uses C#. And the web builds are fantastic. Okay. All right. So essentially what we want to do with these, and I think I might have changed the weapon here. We need to make these buttons do something. And so you can actually do a lot in Unity without code here, but the data is not sort of being saved. So one of the things we could do is say, like, okay, when I click this no armor button, this no armor button has a button type attached to it. This button component is actually part of this thing. This is when I right clicked and added the button here. We have this button component here in our inspector, and it has this on click. This is a Unity event, and we can do some things here. When I click this no armor, I can, without doing any code, I can say, what do I want this to do? It's available in my inspector. I can say, okay, I want this, when this on click event occurs, I can actually say, I want something to happen to this armor here. When I click this no armor button, I want to take my armor object here, this game object. I want to run a function. Our game object has a function on here called set active, and I can turn it on or off. If I set active, if I don't put the check here, that means it's going to turn off. If I have the check here, it's going to turn on. So when I set no armor, I want it to turn off. Let's run our program and see how we can link up our events here in the inspector in this way. Why is it? Oh, let me come to my armor here. Hang on. Why is it? Put some armor on. What? Oh, you know what's happening? You know what's happening? Our armor, what's our sprites? They're not appearing in the order that we want them to. They're not appearing in the order we want them to. This would need to be on sprite layer 1 here, order and layer. We'll talk about sorting layer in a second, but I just want to test here. When I click no armor, the armor gets turned off. It's no longer active. So turn it on and off will actually make it active or inactive in the scene. So when I click the no armor, it turns it off. And this is because the no armor button here has the button component, and I have added this on click to turn off. Turns it off here. So I took my armor, added it in here. We set the active setup to off. Okay. My armor, unfortunately, is showing up. Let me put my weapon on the screen here so we can see these. These need to appear in a specific order. My armor is actually showing up behind my character here. I don't like that. I don't like that. The order it shows, it says order in layer 0, order in layer 0. So the order is going to be sort of random. I could adjust these. I could say, okay, well, I want my armor to appear on layer 1. I want my weapon to appear on layer 2, and now it's going to stack it that way. I could do it that way. Is there a thing to toggle the active instead of explicitly turning it on and off? Yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're setting it active. Is that what you mean? This actually sets it active in the scene. So you'll notice it gets grayed out. Is that what you mean, Diston? Or do you mean just remove the sprite? Another alternative would be to set the sprite to none. That would be the other alternative. And then the actual game object would not be there anymore. Proton, welcome back. Hey, Proton. Yeah, or disable the sprite render. So there's different ways. One of the things I love about programming, and maybe hate, one of the things that's great about programming is you have a lot of room for doing things. It's a level of creativity. What do you think is best? What is the best? What are the reasons we do something, this or that? I'm going to do it with setting this off here. Just doing the active to off. Okay, that's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, which one's the fastest? Which is the most efficient? That's a great question. If you can have, is there a function that toggles the bit? Oh, you're saying, can I make it toggle it? So you want one that turns it on or off? We'd have to add in some logic there to do that. And we'll be adding some logic in. I don't think we would have to write some code to do that. I think so. If I go to my armor button here, I can't write any logic here. I can't write any logic here, on and off. I can't actually write the logic here. We could do some scripting to get that to happen. So we have to have someone say, if it is on, turn it off. If it is off, turn it on. And so we could do some tricky stuff with just the UI to do it. But we're going to go through here. As far as I know, there's no built-in script to toggle it. We could write one. And it wouldn't be too much work. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to go to my cloth armor here. This is my cloth armor button. And I'm gonna make this turn on. I turned it on and off, but it's not working. Oh, we did it another way. Yeah, so it's about how to do it. Mick Nets, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you're welcome back anytime. And that's have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. And Proton, I think I said hello, but welcome back to the stream, folks. If you guys don't know Proton, Proton is a legend here. Astounding Commodore 64 guru, musician, graphician, absolute legend. What game are you working on now, Proton? You made an escape game. You're making a racing game now, I think. Tell us what you've been doing. Feel free to share some links if you'd like to. Okay, so cloth armor. I need to have my armor here when I click this button, and I want to set it to be active. So I need to tell it to turn on, but I also need to make sure, so if I were to run this now, hang on. I wanted to set up my layers better. I wanted to set up no armor, no armor. Right, so I can do this. No armor, like that. Okay. Let's go to my cape here. It gets a little tricky here because I want to turn armor here. I want to set my sprite renderer. I need to change my sprite here. Where's the sprite renderer? I believe is it material? I think there should be one called sprite. Sprite, here it is. Sprite. And cape, we're gonna set this sprite. Okay, so it's this one here. So let's check that out. Let's look at what I did here. So on no armor, we set the object to not active. On cloth armor, we set it to active. And on cape, we set the sprite render to have the cape here. So you might think, hey, I've done it. Hey, I've done it. No armor works. Cloth armor works. Cloth cape works. No armor works. My cloth cape doesn't work now. When I click cloth armor, I still have my cape. So I haven't fully thought out all of the little situations here. So in addition to turning it active, I also need to set the sprite. So I actually, when I click the thing, I have to do two things. Here. My sprite renderer, I need to set the sprite like so. My students end up hating me for this in a second. Are the combinations hard-coded? They are. Great question. They are hard-coded right now. And this is the part. So this is an activity I do with my students where I make them do all of this stuff. They learn how hard this is. And it's like, man, that's rough. And then we're going to create a scriptable object. We're going to create a scriptable object that contains this information for us. We'll get there. I promise. We're going to get there. But yeah, we show them that, hey, we hard code this stuff. And now if I ever want to change, now I want to make my button do one more thing, I have to change all of my buttons. So when you find yourself repeating yourself over and over and over here, this is a sign that you want to do an abstraction. It's nibble. It's nice and evil. It demonstrates a point. Which is really important. What am I doing here? Sets it. I need to do the game object active here like this. Yeah, I get my students to practice something. So this is their first project in the 2D Unity class. They're learning about the hierarchy. They're learning about the inspector. They're learning about buttons, and they're learning a little bit of code, just a little bit of scripting and logic here. Okay. And so they actually practice, having them practice, use this thing over and over, they're always going to remember, oh yeah, there's this on-click thing. If you do it once, you're not going to always remember. You have to have them do these things over and over. Cloth armor, I messed up here. Cloth armor button needs to be here when set what? Here when set what? Set one. Heroine set one. All right, so now we can do no armor, cloth armor. Now we can switch between all of these. So we teach them all of these things. I'm gonna say, okay, there's a lot of complexity here. As a programmer, as a developer, as a human being, you wanna manage the complexity of things. And so we're gonna talk about managing that complexity. We've been going for a while, folks. We've been going for a little bit over 90 minutes. we got to take a break. I know things are going well. We've made a lot of progress here. I gotta get myself some more water, get myself some more bean water, get my bean water here. We're gonna do some stretches when we come back. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. The captain loves you. When we come back, we're gonna get some stretches going. Get the whole crew in. Get your mom. Get your dad. Call your mom up on the phone. Call your dad up on the phone. Say, hey, tune in to the captain. We're about to get some stretching in, folks. We'll see you in just a little bit. Hang tight. I shall return. All right, everybody, we are back. So sorry for the delay. Got myself a nice cup. So I made myself a cup of, so I have this cup of delicious bean water here. I have a Keurig. I use one of the reusable refillable cups. Doy. That's right, Lance. That's right. Thank you for the doy. I have a Keurig. I use the refillable Keurig cups to make my coffee. And so my first coffee of the day, I used the Keurig cup. Used that, made my coffee. I went out there, went to make some more coffee, did not change the coffee. This is how, like, I'm all frazzled today. Folks. I'm frazzled, but it's fine. I'm frazzled for reasons. I made a cup of disgusting water. old partially, second pass through the filter bean water. It was horrible. I took a big sip, and so then I had to make it again. So it took me a little bit of time to get back here. But we're good. We got ourselves a nice, fresh, spicy, a little bit too hot. We got ourselves some fresh water as well. We're gonna get some stretches in here, folks. So I'm gonna encourage, look, the captain wants you to take care of yourself. I want you to get on up with me. You in the back, pay attention. Get on up with me, stand on up. We're gonna take care of our bodies. Stand up with the captain. Get on up with the captain here. We're gonna do some stretches, take care of our bodies. If you're like the captain, you're hunched over. Like a coding troll. Maybe you're an internet troll. Maybe you're a cave troll. Maybe you're the platform formerly known as Tweeter troll. Maybe you're over on X tweetering, trolling about. Whatever type of troll you are, you deserve love too. Look, trolls deserve love. So get on up with me, and we are going to get some stretches. And Clayman, how you doing, my friend? It's so nice to see you here. Clayman, guys, if you guys don't know the incredible Clayman, making the amazing epic hero game. And we're going to stretch out our forearm here. Arm straight out. Try not to lock that elbow. You don't want to cut off the blood flow. We're going to grab those fingertips and pull back until you get a little bit of a stretch here in that forearm. Once you have a little bit of tension, stop and hold it there. No pain. You shouldn't have any pain. You shouldn't have any pain in the wrist, elbow, anywhere. If you feel any pain, stop. I don't want you to hurt yourself. We're just going to take care of ourselves. Clayman, love you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. How have you been? What have you been up to? I'm just gonna hold this here real quick, folks. Oh yeah. A few more seconds, then we're gonna roll that wrist out. Go ahead and roll that wrist out. We're gonna go the other direction now. Grab those fingertips. You're gonna pull down. We're stretching the top here. Stretching the top here. Just pull down. You want to go straight down, not towards yourself, not away from yourself. Straight down until you got a little bit of stretch coming across the top. And you're just gonna hold that nice and gentle. Keep that tension just there to stretch that forearm out. We're helping prevent the repeated stress injuries here. Because you don't want to end up with carpal tunnel. Captain has carpal tunnel. You don't want carpal tunnel. The captain doesn't want you to have a carpal tunnel. No one should have to deal with carpal tunnel. Also, if you guys have any questions for me, get them in now. We'll answer them after the stretch. I don't think we have any questions yet today. Go and roll that wrist out. Doesn't have to be on topic. You can ask me anything. AMA. Just keep it family friendly. Other arm, take those fingertips, pull them back, get that stretch out. Oh yeah. Feels good. Look, the captain loves you, which means you should love you. And if you love you, you gotta love that body. And when we can love that body, it's by stretching. I'm glad you joined just in time for some stretchings. Yes, we have Clayman. Neverhood reference, the Willie trombone. I haven't heard of Neverhood. I'll have to check that out. Is that a TV show? Is that what is that? Ridge Raider. What is Neverhood? And sorry if I get in trouble for that. No, look, Captain doesn't. I'm a simpleton. Go ahead and roll that wrist out here. I'm a simple human. Go ahead and take those fingers, pull them down. Oh yeah, stretching across the top here. PC game from the 90s. Entire game was shot in clay animation. That sounds really cool. Morning stretches. That's right, Bowmancer. Welcome back to the stream. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a beautiful Thursday, my friend. I hope you've been avoiding some of the drama that's been out there the last couple days. But I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. Happy you're here with us. Oh yeah, let's go and roll that wrist out. We're gonna get one more stretch in here. We're gonna do shoulder rolls, folks. Take those shoulders. We're gonna move them up, back and down, and then we're just gonna roll those shoulders and back. Ooh, 2. Ooh, that one's good. 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2. Ooh, my shoulders. 3, 4. Nice and sore. 1. Full arm. 2, 3, 4. Let's roll them forward. Oh, 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4. Full arm. 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, shake it out, folks. Oh, my shoulders are so sore. I did a shoulder workout today or yesterday. I didn't do the shoulder workout today. So I have my dumbbells down here. They're not those smart bells. We got the dumbbells here. All right, and here's my dumbbells. I've been doing shoulder presses, and then also doing shoulder lifts where you rotate your shoulders like that, but with the weight. So man, that was a soreness. Good exercise. I've been doing great. I've lost 12 pounds. We're making progress. We're getting there. That's right, Lance. Good stretches. Folks, for joining me with those stretches. All of you beautiful people. I want to give each of you 250 points to all of you. I'm down 12 pounds. What is that in 12 pounds for me? 12 pounds to kilograms. 5.4 kilograms, folks. I've been doing good. In the last month. I went down 12 pounds. So I'm really happy about that. Quite happy. Yeah. Do you do lateral side raises? I do a bunch of different ones. I've been trying to do a different... I could show you all this stuff. I'm not going to get too into details. I'm doing a bunch of different exercises. I have a book on dumbbell exercise. Not a book. It's a PDF. It's not a physical book. A book on dumbbell exercises. Many years ago when I got into, I thought that read everyone gains 250 pounds. No. Everyone gains 250 points. Look, if you want to feel thin, make everyone else thick. Look, I'm the thin one here. What am I at? 230? I'm at 232 this morning. Just make everyone else gain weight in your chat, and then you'll feel real good about yourself. One thing that I wanted to do here is notice I'm using this number here to change the order. That can become super thick filla, yeah. I wanted to change this number here. Remembering this number is really difficult to do, but we can create sorting layers here. So we're actually going to do sorting layers instead. So we're going to add a sorting layer, and this is going to be for our objects. And I'm going to use, you have these default ones. I'm going to come up here to these user-defined layers. Oh, sorry, not layers here. These user-defined sorting layers here. And I'm going to call this one character. And this would be, you could potentially make another one. This would be character or here. And this is our heroine, our heroine character here. And the layer here is, and we might put this on UIs like inventory screen or something like that. But we'll heroine like that. And you might have it on different scenes here. And then we'll do armor. And then we'll do weapon. So this allows us to change that sorting order without doing that number there, without modifying the number. So now if I come over here to my hero, put this on the heroine layer, my armor, it's gonna be on the armor layer. And now I don't have to adjust the order here. And this will just know the order in which these things should be drawn. And if I decide later I need to switch them, I can go over to my layers, add sorting layer here, go over to my layers, and now I can actually adjust the order like this. Just drag them here in this order. And they appear top to bottom. They render top to bottom. So layer 1 will be drawn before layer 2 will be drawn before layer 3. And that sort of layers it. Now we have this nice label for those layers rather than having to keep track of that number manually on our end. You were 300 at your worst. I was 285 at my worst. That was many years ago. I got down to like 200. I've only been under 200 one other time, twice before I got to 200. And then there was one time I got down just below 200, like 195, and then it sort of came back. Yeah, it's I know some people struggle to gain weight, so I'm not going to say it's easy to gain weight. Personally, for me, I'm a snacker. I will just snack, and get those bonus calories. And that's not a good place to be. So the only thing that's ever really worked for me is consistent tracking of exercise. So I track my exercise. I have Google Fit. I'm using Google Fit to track my exercise and tracking my nutrition and calories. For whatever reason, I struggle. I will do really well as long as I'm tracking it. And then as soon as I get off, it's like my brain, I don't have the ability to internalize my caloric intake, keep myself accountable in that way. So I got to keep it up on it. Practical. How we doing, my friend? Welcome back, folks. If you guys don't know, Practical MPC. Incredible game developer, streamer, working on the game Memori in Godot, working with the great game engine, Godot. No need to figure out what to do as look. It's fine. But guys, go check out Practical MPC. Be sure to give a wish list here. On Steam. We want to give Practical some love. And folks, you got to check out Memori. Also, Saturday, Showcase Saturday coming up. Don't you can't miss it. You're not going to want to miss it. Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. That's this coming Saturday. We have an amazing lineup of people for the community showcase. We've got Wavy. We've got Lance. We've got Practical MPC. You're gonna watch me fail, die over and over, struggling at this incredible platform, because I'm a terrible gamer, but we're going to have Practical MPC with us here on stream, chatting about it. You'll be able to ask your questions live. You're going to be able to see the gameplay, this amazing stuff. So make sure you're here on Saturday to check out Practical MPC, along with all of the other amazing guests. And if you want to share your project on stream with us, you can do that. Just hop on the Discord and sign up. I'd love to have you here. But look, folks, everything's fine. It's fine. Nothing wrong. Well, it's called Unity because we're here together. Anonymous, welcome back. I went to 195 during pandemic. Pretty much gained around 35 pounds. I'm 178. Helps that I'm tall. I'm 6'1", and being tall, you think? I guess it helps. I feel like I still get thick. It's called Unity because it brings us together against one thing. That's right. Okay, so we're creating a paper doll customizer. So we were talking about in Unity the logic here. We have these buttons. They have an on click. No armor turns off the armor. 6'2". You're tall. You're a tall one too, Anonymous. Cloth armor is gonna set this active. Change the armor here. Set active, change armor. So I have to do this for all of these things, and it feels kind of painful to do that, especially because I want to add some additional information here. Redmer, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? I want to add in three more things for each one of these. I want to add in a thing that shows the title, a cost, and a description of this item, an item, a cost, and a description of the item. So we're going to add that to our canvas here now. So I'm going to add in a new UI here. That's going to be our text here. So this is going to be our title. And notice I'm having to swap out this font again. I'm doing this thing. Remember what I said? We're going to have to create. It's nice to create these prefabs. You don't have to. So this is going to be item title. All right, I'm doing item title. I'm going to duplicate that. So this is going to be item title, item cost, do one more, item description. Okay. And these are all related. We're going to put these inside of a parent object. So I'm going to select all three of them. If I select all three, I can actually create an empty parent. It's going to nest them together. And we're going to use another layout. We're going to use another layout manager to do them here as well. We're going to use it. So we used a vertical layout here. We're going to do the same thing here. This is going to be item info. We're going to add in a vertical layout group, and boom, there we go. It's get them top to bottom like that. And I want to put it next to, when we click this thing, let's put it on the right side. What do we think? Put it on the right side over here. So let's take our item info like this, and we're going to select our pivot alignment here. We're going to align it on the right and move it over to the right here. And I actually want to stretch it across like this. So if I'm holding Alt and Shift, it lets me set all those things. Notice when I press Alt, it's saying you're going to adjust the size. And if you hold Shift, you're going to set the pivot where that thing is attached. So I hold Alt Shift and click this bottom one here to stretch it all the way across the right. I want to give it 50 pixels from the top. That's the same as this one here. So it's aligned with that one, 50 pixels from the top. And I want to, let's look here. I'm gonna stretch this out a little bit. I'm gonna increase the width. Let's try 300. 300. What does that look like? Like that, not bad. This is our title. I don't want this to force these all to expand, so I'm not gonna make them do that. But I am gonna have it stretch out the width on these, and then we're gonna adjust those things. Shiny, is it Shiny? Let's see, I missed something in chat. Practically, what's funny is another streamer that I watch currently streaming a migration from Unity to Godot. Yeah, I think a lot of people might switch to Godot. Look, I actually really like Godot. I want to switch. Unity is a heavyweight, giant program. I work at an online remote school. It's a bring your own device school. It's hard. It's unfortunately, there are some students that can't take my Unity course because Unity is too hefty of a program. Godot is super lightweight. The downside is I teach C#, so I want to do C#. Godot does support C#. The web builds for C#, I've had issues with. The web builds for C#. So I'm really hoping that soon, in the next year or so, that'll be something. And maybe I checked it out. This was back in June. It might, or even May. I don't remember. It might be better. So it's going to be our item title. And then this one's, we're going to have the word cost followed by a price, 100 gold. Let's make this one small. We're going to swap this font out. And then the description here, let's get a lorem ipsum description. Lorem ipsum, like this. Lorem ipsum. Okay. Generate lorem ipsum. And I'm just going to take a few sentences here so we can see what it'll look like. Give us a little bit of an example. And of course, it's going to have to be smaller. So we can do an auto size on it. It says size 18. Seemed like a good size. But let's swap out these fonts here. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to select all of them. I want the font to go on all of these. Again, this is something you would probably use a prefab for. All right. So notice how I'm having to swap the font out on all of these. I like this font here. This font doesn't read great on this size here. So let's try doing 24. It's a little bit better. A little better cost. Let's make this one be bold. Item, or maybe not bold, maybe italic. No, I hate italic. Not bold, not italic. But our title, I think, should be a little bit bigger. 48. And then our item cost, let's go down to 24. 32. Close enough. Okay. So one thing we can look at here is these things are taking up the space that they want to take up here. I want these to show up in the horizontal center. These two, horizontal center. So I don't like the spacing. It's uneven here. I'm going to change these so that they're centered vertically like that. So now the spacing feels correct. I think that was one of the reasons it was looking so awkward to me. Okay, so now we have our little description here. What I want to be able to do is when I click on these different buttons, I actually want it to swap out the item title here as well. So no armor, I click on that. I actually want it to turn off the item info. Turn off the item info altogether. It's going to turn them all off. All right, you'll notice this is kind of a painful process that I'm going through. It's going to turn it off here for those. These ones, I need to turn it back on. Right, so all of these, I have to turn it back on. I'm going to add in all of these different events, and I have to edit here over in this chunk. This is when you're doing something where you're sort of copying and pasting, doing a lot of logic things here with this, it is a sign that we might be able to write a script. In this case, we're going to be able to write a script to do this, and we won't have to do this. We'll be able to define some better things here. It's doing the same thing for each one of these, and so we kind of want to abstract here. So this item title here, we will go to our Text Mesh Pro, and we'll change the text string text. Not rich text, where is text? LMNOPQRS alphabetical order there. This will be cloth. That. Notice that I have to do this. I'm going to have to add another one in here. This is painful. This is painful to do. For me, this feels painful. Text Mesh Pro. We're going to have to come in here, come down to text again. This one's going to be cost 10 gold, maybe cloth armor, 5 gold, maybe 5 gold. Strong Bad, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be. We'll see you next time, my friend. See you Saturday. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Then we're going to come in here with this description, and then this one even becomes even more painful to add in here because I have to add in a giant amount of text here. And what if I want to use this text in multiple places? Thank you so much for that, Strong Bad. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If I want to use this in multiple places, now I can't use the description in multiple places. I have to like copy and paste this text around. What if my dolls are wooden? Look, it happens. It happens. But let's look at this real quick. This button's doing a lot of stuff. No armor, cloth. All right, it sets all of this stuff here. I'm gonna have to do it for each one of these buttons. It's feeling pretty painful for me. And so I would like the information about each piece of my armor to be something that I can sort of look up somewhere. And so you might put it in a database, you might put it in a JSON file, you might put it somewhere. Scriptable object is sort of, is an easier, not easier, is a built-in way you can do this in Unity. So we're gonna create a script here. Create a script folder, scripts. And we are gonna create a scriptable object. Cosmic Sand, what a wonderful name, incredible name. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Happy Thursday. How are you doing on this beautiful day? Rex. It's fine. It's fine, Rex. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Game Dev Thursday, folks. Enjoy your breakfast, my friend. I'm getting a little bit hungry myself. Rex, so I, like many people, I am a little, just don't release anything. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, the drama around it is real, man. I teach, I'm a computer science teacher. I teach ages 10 to 14 at a school. I'm teaching a Unity class. I'm teaching 2 Unity classes this year. And so I am a little bit committed to Unity at this point. I've been repeating this over and over and over, so I'm going to try not to get into it too much. It's still very raw, yeah. I'm torn. I'm really torn. So, it's what I do, kind of. I've only been doing Unity since January. Yeah, start them early on Unity, I mean. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're doing it. I use Game Maker Studio in my Intro to Game Dev class in college. There's nothing wrong with Game Maker Studio. Look, get yourself engaged. The tool doesn't matter. It's learning the logic, learning the process in one tool is often transferable to another. And so it's, it's not going as planned. Sounds like a good day to deploy code to production. Yeah. So these news don't affect schools and teaching since you don't make any money with the game. It does. So here, look, I don't want to talk about it too much more because we've talked about it all morning. It affects everyone. It's not just, so from a monetary standpoint, it does not affect me. So here's the thing. I want Unity to be able to make money. I want Unity to be able to make money because I like Unity. I've enjoyed using Unity. Some people don't like it. Oh, Rex, no worries. It's not you, Rex, it's me. It's not you, it's me. Unity is struggling to make money. The way they've chosen to try to make money right now has upset everyone. And so I don't know what that means. Rex, no worries. It's a hot topic. It's hot. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Paying per install feels very weird to me. It feels wrong. And I just want to be able to give my students an awesome experience. I want to be able to give my students an awesome experience. Yeah, Distron, they from what I understand, they have not really been very profitable. So it's one of the things they need to make it. So here's the thing, even if they're making money, even if they're profitable, Unity making money is a good thing for Unity developers. It should be a good thing for Unity developers. So it means they can hopefully invest money into making the product better. Aren't you tired of things that get like built in and then like abandoned? They don't have people to support those tools. They don't have people to continue developing those tools. It might be mismanaged one way or another. A company making money is a good thing for its users, usually. So I'm going to say it's a good thing to make money. The way they're trying to make money feels off to me. Their communication has been awful. I feel horrible for their communication team right now. It feels like they are not doing a good job of internally. It sounds like there's issues. But yeah, we are going to try not to focus that. My notifications aren't working here. We got ML Ippy. Let me know if I'm pronouncing wrong. ML Ippy, thank you so much for the follow. ML Ippy, MLIPEY. Thank you so much for the follow. Happy to have you here on this beautiful Thursday. Look, the pay per install, the cost to the developer per install feels weird to me. Apparently that's a thing that other software distributors use. The thing that bothers me a little bit is Unity doesn't seem to be the distribution channel. Okay. All right. Donnie. Yeah, Donnie, it's Game Dev Thursday. I almost didn't stream today. Look, Donnie. I almost sent a message saying we're not streaming today because I don't want to deal with it. We're trying to make progress here. This is going to be completely unwatchable later. So I apologize to anyone who's watching this in the future. I do have quite a few people who watch these things in the future, so I hope you're enjoying the chaos as well. If you want to know more, go hashtag Unity on the platform formerly known as Twitter. You'll get a lot. Yeah, so look, you guys can talk about it. That's fine. It's painful. It's painful for everyone involved. All right. So let's talk about what's going on here. Rickety and Bum, we'll get there. Do I think it's the death of Unity? No. I don't think it's the death of Unity. Am I an oracle? Can I tell you what's going to happen to Unity? I can't. But Donnie, thank you so much for being here. I'm happy you're here, my friend. So we have this no armor thing set up here. Click no armor, it turns off all of these things. When I click cloth armor, it swaps these things out. When I click cloth cape, it doesn't swap those things out yet. These buttons aren't hooked up to anything yet. And you'll notice the way I've done it is by attaching it directly to this on click, which is fine for some small things, but you're noticing this complexity is growing. If I ever want to use these information somewhere else, I'm gonna have to copy and paste it. I'm having to duplicate this. If I want to change how it works, I have to modify each individual button over and over. When we're repeating ourselves this way, we often want to find, how can we reduce the complexities? Thank you for the doy. How can we reduce the complexities for ourselves? How do we manage the complexity? One of the things we can use, one of the tools that Unity provides is called a scriptable object. So I created a script here. I'm going to create a scriptable object for an item. Item data is what I call it. So scriptable objects, I usually put the keyword data at the end of it. Keyword data at the end, because it is storing a chunk of data. Scriptable objects are kind of immutable. Cosmic Sands, well, you're just in time. I didn't use them for a long time. I was told I got some misinformation about scriptable objects for WebGL builds, and so I avoided them for a long time. They're fabulous. So we're gonna come in here, and I'm gonna hang on. I gotta set up my editor. My editor is not properly set up. Package manager. I use VS Code. This is gonna be in project Visual here. Visual scripting. Visual Studio Editor. I need to update to the latest version to get this work correctly with Visual Studio Code. Yeah, scriptable objects are very misunderstood. Yeah, I was told that they didn't work with WebGL, so I avoided them. But the answer, they don't serialize. They don't serialize essentially code. Is Visual Studio Code missing here? Yeah. Okay. So this, let me close VS Visual Studio. Let's try opening this. See if my autocomplete works here. See if we get some context. I might have to switch to Visual Studio. Cosmic Sands says, would scriptable objects be a good use case for something like a survival game where items and scriptable objects have info? That is a perfect use case for scriptable object for a game. You know, so a lot of times you might think about putting them into a database. Let's see if we get autocomplete. Scriptable object. Okay. So let me show you. Yes. So a scriptable object, you can think of it as a data object for something in your game that doesn't change. It should be essentially static information throughout the lifetime of your game. It's typically how they're used. You can use them in other ways, but that is not what they were designed for. So it's a data object. It's a perfect use case for a scriptable object. Yeah. This one, I still have trouble thinking of ways to use scriptables. I think maybe I don't get them. So check it out. We're about to show how I like to use them in Unity. One of the spots I find them very useful is for data, defining data type. So check this out here. I have my cloth armor. Every one of these things is going to have a name. It's going to have a sprite. It's going to have a title, a cost, and a description. Those are the things that an item needs to have. I could manually come in here and set all of these things. I could come in here and set all of these things each time one of these things get clicked, and then I have to repeat myself a bunch here. I have to repeat myself on this on click, and the logic becomes a little bit messy. So here's my scriptable object. And the things that we needed, we're going to add in some fields here. The things that we want an item to have, the lorem ipsum armor, that's right, Red Ritter, public string name. All right, so what is the name? Public int cost, public int cost, public string description, public sprite. I think sprite might work here. I might have to swap this out with a texture 2D. I'm not 100% sure. This is going to be our sprite. Okay. So name, cost, sprite. Name, cost, sprite are the things I'm in. That's not true. Cosmic Sands, we can add functions in there. We can add functions in there, and it works. It's just fine. It's different from a mono behavior. Okay. Now I need to make one of these. Oh, I forgot one thing. What is the thing? Asset. There's a menu. Create asset menu. All right. File name. File name is going to be. How's the font as well? Sorry if the font is small here. Our file name is going to be item data. And then my menu name is going to be, I'm going to put it in items/item data. Okay, and I might call this my game here. The game I might, let someone give me a name for this game. Banana. I need a better name. Someone tell me the name. Unity has now fees for small game devs. That's correct. Am Cabrera. We're hanging on. Banana Bonanza, Armor Quest. I like Armor Quest. Jungle Quest. We're gonna go with Armor Quest. Distron. Everyone, thank you so much for your great suggestions here. Armor Quest. Call it Armor Quest. Okay, Armor Quest here. We're hanging in there. Go with Godot. We're hanging in. Kadabra. Thank you for coming in. Happy to have you here. You're always welcome here. What's I have a question here. What are my thoughts on using Comic Sans? They're beautiful. All right, so I'm going to create a folder here for my items. itmis items here. And the cool thing here is when I did create asset menu, this is necessary here. When I right click, I get a new context menu. This adds a context menu to Unity. I now create an item data object, and it names it item data. That's what we specified here in our script. And I'm going to call this one cloth armor. Cloth armor here. The name of this is cloth armor. Oh, we're using U. We're using the true spelling. The U here. Cloth armor. I'm going to set it to 5 gold. Let's get a real description of it here. Do I have... Hang on. I want to make sure am I logged into ChatGPT? What about Wingdings? Wingdings! Look, I love programming. It's like programming in assembly. All right, so we have Banana Game Banter. All right, so I do have some ChatGPT open up here. I shouldn't generate on screen here. Generate a 2-sentence description of cloth armor in a RPG. Cloth armor and RPG. Don't do it that way. Generate here. Let's try. Let's edit this. Generate 2 sentences of cloth armor for an RPG game. Let's see if it'll generate better this time. Cloth armor. Oh, come on. Come on. That's annoying. All right. So this is the text it gave us. I don't like it. Look, this is why ChatGPT can't be trusted. This is what it gave us. It gave us this text here. Let's alt Q that. Cloth armor in this RPG game offers, so we're gonna write cloth armor offers minimal physical protection consisting of lightweight layered fabric enchanted with not enchanted fabrics. Period. That's the description like that. Okay. Cloth armor offers minimal physical protection consisting of lightweight layered fabrics. It is better than nothing. There we go. Yeah, some fonts can be, so people spend money to make travel the world. Thank you for donating. Thank you for donating $3. Travel the world. You're incredible, my friend. That's not necessary. Not necessary. Thank you so much for your support. You are amazing. Travel the world. So happy to have you as part of the crew. You're incredible. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here as our cloth. All right, and then the sprite, let's see if it'll let me do this. Oh, I have an error in my code. Of course I do. There we go. Like that. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy that bean water, my friend. Look. This one's for you. This one's for you, Travel the World. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Thank you. That's right, folks. That's right, Rex. That's right. Oh my goodness. All right. So we have this here. The sprite. I want this to be. Let's go find my sprite here. Oh my goodness. Very sad. That's it. I'm sorry. This is gonna cloth armor. We're gonna put this sprite here. Okay, so we have that sprite here, and we want to be able to attach this. When we click this button, we want to be able to update this whole scene. We want to be able to update this whole scene based on this button click. Based on this button click, we want to be able to update the whole scene here, and so how do we do that? What do we do here? How do I make it happen? I need to create, I'm going to create an object here called my scene manager. For lack of a better name, I don't have quite a thing. And I'm going to add a script to this that sort of knows about all of the different things that might have to change in the scene. How do you drink your coffee? Donnie Hostilla asks, how do I drink my coffee? I drink my coffee black, no cream, no sugar. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of agave syrup in it. Almost never though. So black, no cream, no sugar. I prefer medium roast. Sometimes dark roast are okay and light roast are okay. Mostly medium roast. Good question. Yeah, I missed a little bit here. If you want to, feel free if you have questions for me. I'm not sure if people are asking questions. Feel free to use the question command and I will do my best to get to it. It does add it to a queue here. Let me get my questions open up. Do I have another one of these? File, recent questions. We got a couple questions, folks. I got a couple questions. Let me see if I can answer these real quick. Rex asked, I don't know. I think I answered you last time. I didn't check, or I missed this. I didn't clear it out. Rex, do I have to worry about this stuff in programming in Python? I think I answered your question. We were talking about stack stuff. Yes, but do you really need to worry about it at all? No, it's just good to know. It's good to know this stuff. It doesn't hurt to know. Comic Sans, we asked that. Okay, so we got all this stuff. That's from last stream, I know. Okay, wanted to make sure I wasn't missing too much. We got that. We'll check those again from time to time. If people have questions, we have breaks here. All right, so we have our armor data here. I have a scene manager. I need a scene manager to sort of control the elements on my screen. So Scriptable Object is a data type that allows you to create files here. So you can think of this as JSON, YAML. It's a data file. It's not in your scene. It is packaged with your project. It's packaged with your game. It's a thing that you can reference. It's usually static information. It doesn't change throughout. That's not entirely true. Not entirely true. That explains the facial hair. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. A MonoBehaviour, on the other hand, is something you attach directly to a game object. So we're going to create a thing here. This is going to be our scene manager. What would I call this? Our paper doll scene manager. Fusion 2.5. Just to be clear, you do need to buy the full engine. I haven't heard of Fusion. Oh, that's a good question, Cosmic Sans. I'm not sure. When we at the end of stream, if we have time, I'll see if we can find information about that. I know that I suspect it's not too bad because I think we could just turn it to. We'll try something. We'll try it out. Making your current game in cool. Is Fusion? Fusion makes me think of Flash for some reason. I don't know. I'm assuming it's not Flash. Click Team Fusion. I feel like I've used that. It sounds familiar from when I was younger. All right, so our paper doll scene manager, MonoBehaviour can actually be attached to an object. Sorry, this should be paper doll scene manager. It can actually be attached. It's a component that can be attached to an object, and it allows you to interact with scene. Interact and run during the scene. It has this update that runs every frame. Ours is going to be a little bit different. Ours needs references to the things that we need to change, which happen to be our armor sprite. So I'm going to create a sprite, public sprite, armor sprite. I like to do this, private set like this. I like to use properties when I'm dealing with things that other code can talk to and interact with. And I want to be able to access that here. So I put my sprite here. I don't see it on my scene manager here. So I added this field here, scene manager. I want to be able to access that here so I can wire it up. To access this thing, because I made it a property, it's not visible by default, but I can use, Unity provides field, serialize field. I can say serialize this so that I can actually read and write to it from my inspector, So if I come back here, I'm gonna be in my scene manager now. I'm gonna be in my scene manager here. And now it shows up. Sprite, right? And this isn't, is this what I wanted? No, I wanted this to be attached, not my sprite. I want it to be a sprite renderer. I want it to be this object. I need it to have a sprite renderer. Like this, sprite renderer. So I want to be able to put my armor object in there and modify it. Donnie, excellent question. I've seen serialized field and field serialized field. The difference, this here is used when you have a property. So this is technically a method. If I do just field here, it won't come through. Watch, if I do just serialized field here, I don't find it. And that's because this is not a field. If I were to do this and make this private, serialized field works on fields like this. Okay, so it works on fields. I'm so glad you're learning, Cosmic Sans. That's why I'm here. Serialized field will work for private fields. Public ones show up by default. But I'm a big fan of properties. I'm a big fan of properties in C Sharps. And to be able to see the properties, we can use this field part in the adverb. It says, do it to the underlying field. It says, do it to the underlying field. Okay. Yeah, Dramox. Dramox. Working in surreal. So now I can attach my armor here. I can attach my armor here. And so I can attach my armor here. And the next thing I want to do is I want my paper doll scene manager to know which, it's not so bad you like it. I'm glad you like it. We're going to add in our item data here. Current item. Get private set like this. And I'm going to make this a field as well, serialized field like this. We're going to do a little bit of magic here, serialized field. But the idea being that I'm going to be able to swap in which item I have. So when this scene starts, I can, now that I've made this an item, I can actually put, my different, so let's duplicate cloth armor. Let's make one called cloth cape, cloth cape, cloth cap, cloth cape. Let's rename this cloth cape. We're gonna say this is 15 cloth, a cloth cape to help better protect your back. Comes with a full set of cloth armor. Okay. And the sprite happens to be, I believe, Harrowing set 2, like that. So now I have these two things here. Just a cape of cloth. Just a cape of cloth. Yeah, just a cape of cloth, exactly. And now in my scene manager, I can say, okay, well, actually, my current item is my cloth cape. My current item is my cloth armor. All right, so with that, what looks especially like a child's blanket. Oh, I like that too much. We're gonna change it. Cloth cape to help better protect your back. Comes with armor. Looks suspiciously like a child's blanket. Dev Donut. What a great name. Is it Dev Donut or Dev Donut? Dev Donut. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. And we also got Hellraiser. It's day 3 of the Never Ending Twitch chat discussion. Yeah. Hellraiser. It's fine. It's fine. Carlos. I'll go with Carlos, my friend. If you want me to call you Carlos, look, anyone who's here, I'm doing beautiful. Any day I can wake up and code is a beautiful day, folks. Carlos. I'm happy to have you here with us, Carlos. I'm doing wonderful. I hope you're doing wonderful. So look suspiciously. What I'm gonna do now, that's okay. All right, Carlos, whatever. Look, folks, whatever you want. Look, Captain Coder, I'm a computer science teacher. I teach computer science and programming at a school. It's my full-time job. Teach computer science programming at a school for ages 10 to 14. I love doing it. I love to do it. It's my full-time job. We hang out on Twitch. We learn something new. We try to learn something new every stream. Try and do some cool stuff here. Happy to have you here with us. A donut. All right, I'll change it. Just hang on. Donut. Just so I don't get it wrong. Donuts. Here we go. Happy to have you here with us, Donut. Yeah, I teach ages 10 to 14. One of the classes I teach is a 2D Unity class. This is sort of the project I give them. As early as possible, I agree. So our paper doll scene manager, what I want to do is when we start up, so we have this magic method in Unity called start, and it says when this object starts, I want to swap out these things. So my armor sprite here, I have my current item. I'm going to say my armor sprite dot sprite is going to be equal to current item dot sprite. Okay, so I've created this. Let me put these side by side so we can see this item data adjacent, right directly next to it. My scene manager is a MonoBehaviour. This runs in the game scene. My item data is a scriptable object. You can kind of see this as a data object. You can think of this as a database object. It's a thing that lives throughout the lifetime of your program. It doesn't change, and you can use it in lots of places. Scene, MonoBehavior runs in the scene. We have the start method. I'm defining that I want my player to start with a specific item or have a specific item. So we do armor sprite equals current sprite here. Okay, so now when I start my scene, it's going to change the sprite to the one that is currently selected. So my cloth armor here, harrowing set 1, cloth cape, harrowing set 2. If I come in here on my scene manager, we are currently set to cloth armor. I'm going to set it to cloth cape just so we can see the change here. Just so we can see the change. And I think it's linked up. I have it hooked up to my sprite right now. Let's hit run. Let's hit run here. And boom, when my scene starts up, it changes it there. It changes it there to whichever one. If I make another, let's duplicate that. Let's do one for leather armor. Leather armor, that's going to be our harrowing set number 3. I'm going to attach that again. I'm going to set my scene manager here to be my leather armor. If I run this, at the start, it's going to swap it out. Swap it out. Boom, it's going to do it. What I want to do is I want to actually make these buttons switch which armor I'm using. I want it to swap out which one I'm doing. So in my scene manager here, I want to add in a function here, public void set current item. Okay, and it's gonna take in an item data. And we're gonna do something here. I'm gonna show you there's some magic we can do to reduce this a little bit. But this might be the approach you might take. And this approach is just fine. Set current item data. We're gonna set our current item equal to data. And we need to update our armor sprite here. Armor sprite dot sprite. It's gonna be equal to the data coming in, the item coming in dot sprite. Okay, so now I can call this method and it will update this on the screen. It'll update this on the screen. We're getting close. We're getting close. Now I need to hook my button up to this. I'm gonna hook my button up. When I click on cloth armor, rather than doing all of these things, notice how many things I have. I'm gonna get rid of all of these things. Instead, I'm gonna say, use my scene manager, come down to its paper doll scene manager, and I'm gonna call set current item. And the item I'm gonna set is, boom, my cloth armor. That's all I need in there now. And now I can manage that complexity with my script. I don't have to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. 8 times here. So let's run this. Let's run this. I think my default may not have been cloth armor. I might have to add this to a couple of ones. Cloth armor, boom, it calls that method. It calls that method. And that's the only bit I need to do here. And potentially I could set up a thing where it generates these for us as well. Set up these things for us as well. So let me finish updating this. There were some questions here. Let me see if I saw some questions in the chat. Use the exclamation point Q to get your question if I missed it. Is there a built-in tool for exporting scriptable objects to JSON? I think there is. I think the JSON util will do it. I think the JSON tool will do it. What age do you teach game dev to? My school is ages 10 to 14. My school is ages 10 to 14. It's my full-time job. I also do private tutoring and group tutoring for any age, essentially. But my full-time job, the job I do Monday through Friday, and really I do it all day. I do it on the weekends too because I love it so much, is for ages 10 to 14. That's my target group there. Donut, I've only, great question. I teach computer science and programming. Computer science and programming. I also teach music. So fun fact, I got a music education degree is what I went to college for initially. And then I ended up getting a computer science degree. I got an environmental science degree as well. I ended up going to grad school for computer science education. You seem like a music teacher. I appreciate that. Music teaching was too hard. I'm not strong enough to be a music teacher. That explains the jingles, Rex. Yeah. So we're going to try, what did you do before teaching? I'll get to that in just a moment. Comic Sans, Cosmic Sans. I want to try something here. I want to see, we're going to add, so someone is saying, can you add methods Someone is saying you can't add methods to scriptable objects. I think we can. I know we can. It's a class. It's just a C# class. You can add methods to C# class. And so what I'm going to do is here public string to JSON. I'm going to write a method to JSON here. It's going to take the scriptable object, and we're going to see if the JSON utility to JSON will work on our scriptable object here on this. We're just going to try returning this like so. We're going to check this out. Okay. JSON utility to JSON this. And in my scene manager here, when we set the current item, what I'm going to do is I'm just do a debug.log data.toJSON to see what we get out. See what we get out. So we can write these to JSON. This, I believe, will work because these are all public. Sprite, we might have an issue with. But these things here, these primitive, quote unquote, primitive data types, I think will work fine. I think lists work fine. There's a handful of things that work by default with the JSON utility. Let's check it out. Excellent question, Cosmic. All right, let's run this. Let's check it out here. So when I click cloth armor, yeah, goes to JSON here. Goes to JSON here. The sprite is the one thing I'm not sure is actually working well. Yeah, so I believe it is it might, I don't know. I'd have to write this out to a file and back and see if that works. You really want to reference to like the material or something in that regard. So there's some workarounds we could do, but yeah, we can. So JSON utility works fine for scriptable objects. Yeah, we can do a from JSON as well. Excellent question. I'm sure several people had a similar question. Cosmic Sans, for your great questions. Points and Cosmic Sans. You got 1, 2, 3 questions, 150 points to you. Ridge, what did you do before teaching? Excellent question. Yeah, Dev Donut. I was assuming there's like some stuff we do. What did I do before teaching? I've been programming for over 20 years. I started freelance programming when I was 16. And I did a lot of PHP at the age of 16 to like 20 or something. I got hired at a university to do web development. They used Cold Fusion. And when I was at university, I started studying compilers and stuff. Got super into compilers. My very first software engineering job, I was working at a company that had supercomputers. Cold Fusion, yeah, I know, it's rough. Supercomputers. They had supercomputers, did massive computations. They had a supercomputer with over 6,000 cores. I think it was like 6,590 cores or something crazy. I think bad-mouthing, it's fun. It can be fun to bad-mouth PHP. It's a fine language. It's not my first choice. It's a great look. If you want to get a job as a programmer, just get into something. PHP will get you somewhere. There's a lot of places hiring for PHP. Old PHP was worse. PHP's gotten better. It's not my first choice. I prefer languages like C#, static type languages. Yeah, so I worked in industry. I worked on compilers. My first big job was I worked at a company for 6 years where we were doing a custom Java virtual machine. So we had our own compiler, and it compiled. It was targeting a machine that had 6,000 CPUs, and we wanted to do not 6,000 threads, 6,000 different CPUs, and we wanted to do distributed, parallelized computations for massive, is basically for machine learning stuff. So we wanted to be able to do that. So I worked there for 6 years. Then more recently, before I got my job as a teacher, I was working. I've worked at a lot of startups as well. I've worked at a lot of startups, and I worked at a couple startups that were pretty successful. And my role at startups have mostly been in the realm of machine learning and artificial intelligence. But I've always wanted to be a teacher. So before that, I was in industry, and it turns out it's really hard to become a computer science teacher. People aren't hiring for that in most places. For the most part, people are hiring a math teacher and they want you to do robotics or run the computer science program. Not a lot of schools have a computer science curriculum, a computer science, core. So a few years ago, I got hired at an independent school. It should be standard in every school. I agree with Cosmic Sans. I got hired at an independent school that was a K through 12. My best friend was actually already there doing computer science, helped me get that job, broke my way into it. And then 3 years ago, I've been working at, now I work at a different school that's middle school, ages 10 to 14. I love it. It's my dream job. Thanks for asking. Ridge Raider asks, what was your first computer and first programming language? Excellent questions. Meow, Mewman. I always say it wrong. Hello. How you doing, Mewman? Mewwen, happy to have you here on this beautiful Thursday. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Yeah, I saw that, Donnie. I think Alabama as well. Arkansas, Alabama. I think they added it to their core curriculum. It's a requirement now for high school, which is good. I don't know that requirement. I'm not a big fan of like forced requirements on kids. I think schools should be required to have it. Forced requirements on kids is rough. The school I work at, students get to choose whatever classes they want. And so getting kids excited. So I like to teach classes. I teach a class called Interactive Fiction, where we do a little bit of programming, but the course is actually around writing stories, writing essentially stories where you get to make decisions and choose logic and have branching paths. And that gets a lot of kids who otherwise wouldn't be interested in programming to begin with really excited about programming. And then it's like a gateway. It's a gateway class. It's a gateway class into programming. Yeah. So what was your first programming? What was your first computer? I think it was an Apple IIe. I'm not 100% sure. So my first computer was my dad worked for the public school system. They had these salvage sales and you could buy a computer. You didn't know what was on it for $2. You get a keyboard for $2 and get a monitor for a monitor was $2. Any monitor that they had was $2. Any computer that was $2, and then a keyboard was $1. So my first computer, I think it was an Apple. It was an Apple something, and it had BASIC on it. And then later on, we ended up with a computer with the MS-DOS, and I did Quick Basic. So first computer was an oldie computer. First programming language were BASIC and Quick Basic. And then after that was Turbo Pascal, and then C, Visual Basic, and then I did a lot of C programming on Linux. I got sucked into Linux land for a long time. Snabble, interactive fiction like Lone Wolf. Yeah, interactive fiction is just choose your own. I hate to say choose your own adventure because that's like a trademarked thing. I'm not allowed to call it a choose your own adventure here. Excellent questions, Ridge Raider. Thank you for your question. Points, and since you asked two questions there, points and Ridge Raider, 100 points to you, my friend. Thank you so much for that. What are we doing? What one are we doing today? We are doing game dev. We're doing a little prototype here for a paper doll here, and so we were testing out here. I'm gonna remove this debug here so we don't have to see it come out here. But we're swapping these things out. We're going to swap these different things out. And so my manager needs a reference to the components it wants to switch out. So I need to get a reference to the title, the cost, and the description. So I'm going to add those in here. Title, cost, and description. Public. TM text mesh mex. Text mex. Mesh Pro UGUI Text Mesh, my favorite flavor of text. Text Mesh, Text Mex. Love some delicious Text Mex. That's right. Look. Taco Bell happens to be one of my favorites. Taco Bell. It's one of my. I haven't had Taco Bell in a while. I don't know if you could call Taco Bell Text Mex. I don't think I haven't had Taco Bell in a while. But it is one of my guilty pleasures. I think it's been over a year since I've had Taco Bell. But I do love. Sometimes you just want that. I don't even want to call it a nasty taste. Look, they got flavor scientists over there making it delicious. addictive. Whatever they're doing over there, it works on us, on us pale people. The pale people love it. I can't speak for anyone else, but us pale folk, the pale folk enjoy it. Okay, Text Mesh Pro. I love spicy food too. All right, rambling. This is going to be our item name. Okay, item name. This is going item name, item cost, and item description. Okay, and I'm gonna make these serializable like this. And now we're gonna wire all these things up. Gonna wire all of these things up here. Come back over here. Job credits land an entry-level job in tech. Apply. It's a great question. It's a great question. Josh, just so I don't forget, can you use the question command? Queue it up, because this is going to take me a little bit. I want to finish what I'm doing here. Queue up that question. I'll give you a longer answer in a moment. I can tell you what I think. Look, I can give you some. I can tell you what I think you could do. I'm no promise that it's going to be best. Good question, Wen. So this one is I can answer. This one I can answer quickly. If I come over here into my scene, click on title here, Text Mesh Pro Text UI. This happens to be the component I want to modify here. And if I just click these three dots here and hit edit script, it tells me that the type of this class is this. So the answer to your question is that I want to modify this type. Text Mesh Pro GUI happens to be the type that I want, whereas a Text Mesh Pro, let's look at here. I think there's a type called Text Mesh Pro. It is not that type T. This, if I go look at the source code for this here is a different class. It's a different class. Yeah, it's just like a completely different class. It's not the same thing. And so the UGUI, I'm assuming it's something that is, I think, anyway, the answer is this is the component that I want. I know it's a component I want because it matches this one here. And so I think it's just saying that's a Text Mesh Pro user interface, graphical user interface. I don't know exactly what this extra U stands for. Okay, so I have this. Now I want to wire these things up in my scene manager. Cosmic Sands, thank you. Text Mesh Pro can be used anywhere. GUI only on Canvas. Gotcha. Thank you for that info. I'm going to wire it up here. This is our name. I'm going to rename this to match to item name. Scene manager, item cost, and item description. So I wired those things up like so. And now I'm going to modify my set current item here. Modify my set current item so that way my item name dot text is going to be equal to my data dot name. Item name dot text is sorry, not item name. Item cost dot text is going to be equal to cost. And then this one is going to be data dot cost gold. Item description dot text is going to be equal to data dot description. Okay, so now when I set my items, it'll swap those out. I want it to also start with some, maybe I don't want it to start with things set, but what I can do is when I start up, I can set current item here and just say, set it to what it actually happens to be. So it'll invoke these things. It'll invoke these things. So let's check this out here. So let's run this. Let's run this, and we got this. Oh, and I need to add it to the buttons real quick. Actually, I'm adding to the button. Cloth cape here. I click cloth cape like that. It's going to swap it out. Oh, what's interesting is maybe I just don't have it set up quite right. I didn't set the description. My scene manager will start on leather armor. None's going to cause issues. We'll start on cloth armor like that. Let me come in here on my buttons. On my buttons, I need to go through and make each one of these, let's delete that, interact with the scene manager here. And the function we're going to call is our set current item. And then we can attach the scriptable box. So this is a cape. It's going to be cloth cape. Our leather armor. Can I do a copy and paste on that? I think I might be able to copy. I can't. If I do this, can I? No, I can't. That was too bad. It's not too much work, but now I'm not doing this 9 different times on every single different one. I just have to say, well, we're just going to call this method here, and paper doll scene set current item, and now we attach leather armor. We could go through and add this to each one of these. Add these to each one of these. The most toasted, welcome back. Happy to have you here on this beautiful day. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. How you been? And I think you had a different name last time, but maybe I'm wrong. The most toasted. Unfortunately, I don't quite recognize the name. Did you change your username recently? Just curious. Now, if I click cloth cape, armor here. So it's kind of like your scriptable objects are your database. Your scriptable objects are your database. These are your long-lived data objects that you're going to use. They're going to use throughout here. So cloth armor, cloth cape, leather armor. My leather armor here, I would need to update this. So let's set this to 25. Call this leather armor, like that. And then the description, leather. Let's see if ChatGPT can generate a better one for us here. The last one, generate a description of leather armor. 2 sentences. Form of protective clothing crafted. Okay, this one's not too bad. We'll put that in there and click button cloth, leather, swaps out leather armor, and I have an extra space at the beginning there. Leather armor, boop, is a form of protective clothing crafted from carefully tanned, and the awesome no armor here is a little bit busted. With the no armor one, we got to fix a little bit. Like that. And, oh, great, donut. Yeah, we can do text field on there. Absolutely, I think that will work, folks. I'm not a Unity expert by any anyway. So sorry that I don't know all the details. We're learning together here. All right. So we're able to swap these out. I'd have to add in each of these other ones. So you can see that we could do this kind of easily. I'm a little bit evil. I make my students go through and build out all of these, and then come back, and then we add in scripts and stuff. So they haven't learned any code yet. So I actually have them do all of this stuff without doing it. And then we come back and we say, okay, that was really, they learned the pain. The idea is, use what you have, learn the pain, and realize if something's painful, you as a programmer, one of your goals is to make things a little bit more manageable. And so then we come in and we add in these things, and it becomes a simpler thing that we can manage here. So I think, Donut, I think you're suggesting that we add in text. Is it text area? I think that's what would do it, to make it so that it's not a single line. Text area property here. Let's see if that does it. I think that's the one here. Yeah, so now it grows. So before it was a single line, now it's multiple. Let's go, easier to see here. Scroll up and down, beautiful. So we have this, we can do the same thing with weapons, other items, swap these out. Beautiful stuff. All right, folks, I do have to get ready for work here, but I wanna see if I can answer, we have some questions still. People, if you got a question, get it in, get your question in, !Q. Question, add your questions in. Donnie asks, do you plan these projects out? Oh, let's get this committed. Actually, Johnny, I'm going to answer it in just a second. I want to make sure this code, I want to commit it. Forgot to do this last time. I want to get this onto GitHub for you guys. Move, /git ignore here, git status, git add, git commit, chore, prototype, paper doll. Okay, so get this pushed up to GitHub for you guys so you can access all the stuff I do on stream. Almost everything I do, I try and make it open source for you all you beautiful people out there. So if you want to get the source code for this paper, you can find it on GitHub here, paper doll customizer. Send you a link to that. You're welcome to do it. If you have more questions, get them in the chat. Well, I got a couple minutes here trying to answer your questions. Donnie asked, do you plan these projects out for the stream, or do you just code as you go? It depends on the project. I have done this particular project before. Sorry, I'm slightly distracted here. Update this. So I have done this particular project back in 2019. So I know I've said I've only been doing game dev since January, and that's kind of true. Santa Risa, welcome back to the stream. Sorry, I missed your chat there. So a little bit of yes, a little bit no. So I have an idea of what I'm going to do, at least today. Usually I try and have an idea. Do I go through and do the whole project beforehand? No, I don't do that. I do a little bit of prep, making sure I know what I'm going to talk about. So you can often see the ones that I have less prep for than others. I prepped very little for this one, but this is a project that I'm having my students do. And so I've done a little bit of the character creator.captaincoder.org. So I don't have the whole thing here, but I actually do have this little site that I'm putting together. And so my students are up to this point. My students are up to this point where they've sliced it, they've added their character in, they had a challenge to do it. So I'm putting this together for them. This is as far as they have gotten. So I've thought about this project and I've thought about some of this stuff, but I didn't plan on necessarily doing scriptable objects, those sort of things just yet. Good question. So I kind of do it. It's a little bit of both. I have an idea. I've usually taught some of it before. I've done a little bit before, not always. When we did the rhythm game, I'd never done that before. So yeah, a little bit yes, a little bit no. This one asks, if you add a new variable to your scriptable object, it will add a new blank field into any previously created objects. Hang on, this one's a little hard for me to read. I'm going to copy it to a new document here. If you add a new variable to your scriptable script, it will add a new blank field into any previously created object. That's correct. That's correct. Let's check that out. So if I want, say I change my item data here, let's add a new one. Let's say I say like, okay, now we have a new thing here that's like public int defense. Add in a defense field here. All right. So rather than doing item, I might do armor defense field here. All of my objects now have that field available. So now it's available here, defense here. Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes. Great question. I hope that answered your question. Is there a way you can make a section of properties? I don't think so. This is a good question. Does anyone in the chat know? Is there a way you can make a section of properties instead of using fields before every variable? I don't think so. As far as I'm aware, you can't. If you just make everything public and not a property, you don't have to put this. But that is like against some of the general object-oriented principles, things you should follow in most cases. So keeping things private is usually a good thing to do. So as far as I'm aware, there isn't a way built in. You could probably write an extension, write some code to do it. You could write your own attribute to say within this body, do it to these things, but I'm not sure. Good question. If anyone has a better answer, let me know. The most toasted, I'm considering getting a MacBook to get in coding. Is that what coders? You can absolutely, use it. I have a MacBook that I'm using as well. So I have a MacBook Pro. I've done CSharp development on it. I've done Haskell development on it. I've done web development on it. Absolutely can. I've seen people do Unity development on their Mac. Unity runs great on my MacBook Pro. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, Santa Risa, great point. Public variables are accessible everywhere. It doesn't make debugging. It can make debugging harder. There's nothing wrong with a MacBook Pro. I own a MacBook. I'm a Linux nerd. I happen to be on Windows because it's streaming from a Windows machine is easier for me. I had trouble in other cases. And I have a big beefy computer that I can put my desktop on. Yeah, is that what coders use for laptops? I have a regular laptop too. You can, doesn't, it's up to you what you're comfortable with. Another computer would be fine probably too. What is the worst programming language if you're not allowed to say PHP? Let's start off by saying that let's get rid of the meme that PHP is a terrible programming language. It's not. It has some weird syntax things that have come up. JavaScript does too. JavaScript has some weird things to it as well. Every language has its warts. Some have more warts than other. So let's go to the Twitter. Let's go to the formerly known as Twitter. I'm not signed in here. Let me find. Do I have to sign in to see tweets? The Captain Coder. Do I have to be signed in to see tweets? That is crazy. That is crazy. You have to be signed in. I was going to show a tweet I have here. JavaScript has some crazy things in there. They're called posts now. Let me just 1 second. All right, we're gonna try not to expose myself too much here. Let's go to the Twitter. I'm being very careful on my other monitor right now to go to a tweet. And this is from the Primogen, actually. The Primogen, like, fun, goofy character streamer does hot takes. Where are my posts? Node.js. What? Where's this post? I have too many posts. Here it is. All right. This is the behavior of JavaScript. It's saying, like, parse int will give you nan, not a number. Number, though, gives you 0. Number 07 foo gives you nan. ParseInt 07 foo gives you 7. So worst is relative. What is my least favorite language to work in? Probably some obscure language that JavaScript. I actually don't mind JavaScript most of the time, but it has just weird little things that I can never remember everything. I can never quite remember everything about it. Look at this parseInt thing here. 0.00005, you get 5 back. So the languages I like the most are the ones that I know what to expect. I don't know if this is a good expectation. I really think the expectations here are gnarly in JavaScript. I'm not going to say JavaScript is the worst language. For small projects, I love JavaScript. For small projects, I love PHP. As things get bigger, I like languages that have static types like CSharp. They help me baby-proof stuff. So that's what I'm. Holy cannoli, Tim Baudette. Is it Tim Baudette? I think it's Tim Baudette. Tim Baudette, thank you for the raid today. Tim Baudette, how are you, my friend? Thank you for that huge raid. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Folks, if you guys don't know Tim Baudette, incredible streamer, full-time streamer. Tim Time. I'm spelling it wrong. There we go. Give him some love. Baby-proofing. Baby-proofing is great. Look, whoa. I'm a baby. I'm not good enough to program. I'm not good enough to program in JavaScript on big projects. I'm not a good enough programmer. I gotta baby-proof this stuff for myself. Keep things going. Tim, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? Guys, give attention all lurkers. See that little heart on your screen in the chat right there? Click it. Give Tim some love. Tim, thank you so much for popping in here. Permit. Do you have any links you want to share with us? Please feel free to do so. I know you got some games on Steam. I know you got some projects coming. You got a YouTube channel. Share all the things. If you have time, if you got a raid and run, feel free to get out of here. I know how that be. Don't put yourself down, Kevin. Look, there are some amazing programmers out there. I like programming languages that baby-proof themselves, all right? That help me. So I always baby-proof my code. I try to. The Most Toasted has a question here. It says, I really want to learn C. Do you have any tips for some good learning projects? I heard making a calculator GUI is a good learning one. Most Toasted, what is your programming skill so far? Do you have any programming background, or you just want to learn C in general? What's your programming background is a good question. A calculator is fine, but you're not going to learn if you're just learning programming, a calculator is a fine project to start on. If you're trying to learn like, well, why is the reasons I use C? What do I want to use C for? What are, the different things I do with C? What makes C so great? I would recommend doing if you have some background learning about data structures. You want to do it visual? There's nothing wrong with doing it. If you're doing visual stuff, I can't talk to doing visual stuff in C, as I've never done any real visual stuff in C. I've used a few libraries for it. My experience with C has been mostly with embedded systems and compilers. That's what I use C for, writing compilers and doing embedded systems. Tim says, we were working on the next video for my YouTube channel. Awesome. Going for a hike today to shoot that video and talk about Unity woes. Look, Tim, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing's wrong with Unity. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. There's no drama. No drama. It's perfect. It's perfect. Nothing's wrong here. It's the first thing you do in Visual Basic. Gotcha. So if you're just wanting to learn how to program, C is a fine language to do. A calculator project would be fine. I wouldn't start with a GUI, a UI, a graphical UI, unless you have some background in programming first. I think a calculator is a great project. I think doing some data structures is a good project, implementing some stuff. If it's just a toy project, doing some command line tools is a great project in C. I hope that was helpful. Good. Thank you for asking. If you had one snap, I hope that answered your question, the most toasted. We got maybe one last question here. So is Visual Basic still a thing? It's called VBNet. VB.net. Microsoft. VB.net. And so I don't know. The answer is kind of. Some people still use it. Some people still use VB.net. Grumpy Game Dev uses it. I like Grumpy Game Dev uses it. We do a co-stream every second Saturday of the month. Every second Saturday we do a coding kata. The next one's not September 9th. The next one is going to, I shouldn't need to update that. The next one is on October 14th. October 14th will be the next one. It has some good things about it, all right? It's not bad. Santa Risa says, if you had one snap with Thanos' gauntlet, what would you do? I would make people like reading. I seriously think that would solve a lot of problems, is I would make people like reading. And so I'm not exactly sure what that means. I actually think a lot of people like reading. I would make... If I could do one snap with the Thanos gauntlet, I would solve the problem of how to get kids to read, how to get kids started on reading, because reading is so powerful. You learn so much, you see so many perspectives. So I would Thanos glove snap the love of reading into all people, current and future, all people. Snap the love of reading into people, because it helps so much. All right, folks, I do have to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for your questions. We're gonna find someone to raid here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for making my morning wonderful. We will be back. Quick self-promotion. If you want to join the crew, you can do so on Ko-fi. Can do it. One last one. Yes, I got it. One last one, Thindle. One last one. Question done. Got it. If you want to support Captain Coders Academy, you can do so on Ko-fi. You can do so by, you just caught me, Tim. I got to get to work. You can join me on Discord. More importantly, see you guys on Saturday for the incredible showcase Saturday. We're going to have some incredible people here showcasing their projects, their games, their web projects, anything you got. If you want to share your project, hop on there as well. Can you do? And then do? Nope, I can't. I could try. We're going to save that one for next time, Thindle. Hop on Discord. We'll see you guys for Showcase Saturday. Same captain place, same captain time. We are gonna go raid. Who are we gonna raid? Let's go raid Sticks Color. Let's stick with game dev. All right, Sticks Colors or Terranam? One's for Sticks Colors, two for, yeah, we're just gonna do it. We're doing Sticks Colors. We're gonna raid, shout out. Make sure to give Sticks Colors some love. Oh, they're doing art. We're gonna raid Terranam. They're doing art. Shout out Terranam. All right, give Terranam some love. Making a cool game. We're gonna go raid Terranam. Tim, again, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Thank you for being here. Remember to, I lost it. I lost for it. Remember, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure it out. Things are gonna be good. It's fine. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and you're welcome back anytime. See you guys on Saturday. Have a beautiful day.